Welcome to today's broadcast. Shout out to our sponsors. our broadcast.
Well, good Monday evening to you from a beautiful Smithfield here on the campus of Marian University in a gorgeous 79-degree day here, or evening, I should say. A gorgeous day out today.
Yeah.
And it's finally, it feels, you wade through all of the rain and the snow and the wind. I was, earlier in this spring season, I was here at Smithfield taking in a spring soccer game, and it was snowing sideways. And you wade through all of that to get the beautiful weather that we get during the end of the regular season and the postseason here in the soccer schedule. Hey everyone, I'm Jordan King from the Flyway Focus, joining here with Jeff Sauer on Jeff's live streams. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, and we got a good one here today between number 2 and number 3 in the Flyway Conference standings. Winnebago Lutheran Academy hosting here in familiar, unfamiliar territory, not their home stadium, but nonetheless, just across town here at Smithfield, and it's a gorgeous facility that Marian has over here. WLA 7-2 in the conference season. They no longer have a shot for the Flyway title. Couple of losses this year, one to Mayville and then one on Friday to Springs. That gave Springs a share of the conference title guaranteed, and they can share it with CWC if the Crusaders can knock off the Vikings here tonight from Smithfield. If CWC gets clipped by WLA, if WLA wins tonight, or there is a draw, St. Mary Springs will win their third straight outright conference championship. So
Jordan, do you know why we were moved here to Smithfield?
No idea.
No, me either. I have no clue. I don't know if
it could be a scheduling conflict with the Fond du Lac Soccer Complex, which is Winnebago Lutheran's usual home field over there at the Fondy Soccer Complex. Beautiful facility over there, by the way.
Right.
They got turf over there now as well, and yeah, it's excellent. But I would guess it's probably, we're starting to get into club soccer season, and my guess is probably starting to infringe on some of that. So
I was wondering what the reason for coming to Marian, because you would think, I mean, so I didn't know that they play on turf. So with WLA playing on turf, they still have to have partial advantage because CWC is playing on grass, and I know that Cameron doesn't want me to talk about the field conditions over at CWC, so I won't talk about the conditions that they have over there.
You know, CWC has Mulder Field is one of the best grass facilities you'll find. However, it is different playing on turf. So I would say advantage there, yes, goes to Winnebago Lutheran. They practice on it a handful of times throughout the season. They practice on grass usually, but getting to play most of your games on turf is a big advantage when you get to this point in the season. And we'll see if that's an impact. Coming up here tonight, Winnebago Lutheran likes to possess the ball. I've seen CWC twice this year. They're a great possession team as well. Charlotte Butine, Lauren Rice, a couple of these players that are really, really good on the ball. And I'm looking forward to this. Both of these teams possess excellent midfielders, and both of them possess goal scorers at the top that can score it with anyone in a very good goal-scoring conference, I might add. So.
We'll step aside. We're going to step aside here. We're going to run some ads, and then we'll come back and we'll talk more about this contest today. And we can dive into some other information specifically about CWC. You're listening to Jordan King along with Jeff Sauer, Isaac Bartlett, and Reagan Warwinga, and Cameron Hatcher on the carpet, I guess is what we're going to say. I can't. Did you say that on the field? I guess so.
Yeah. On the turf. Well, it's soccer, so we got to say it's on the pitch.
Okay, there we go. We'll be back after these messages.
Of helping clients buy and sell homes and properties totaling hundreds of millions of dollars. His deep knowledge of the market, attention to detail, and commitment to clients has driven his success and made each transaction a positive experience. Terry was born and raised in Oakfield. He and his family have deep ties to the community. Terry knows this area when it comes to real estate. Contact Terry at 920-238-5558 for all your realty needs in the greater Oakfield area. Or check him out on Facebook at Terry Holz Realtor. Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options: appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
The CWC Athletic Booster Club is proud to support this broadcast. The CWC Athletic Booster Club is a not-for-profit organization made up of CWC athlete family members and friends of the school. The club's goals are to support improvements of the CWC athletic facilities and programs, such as the recent investment into the school's new weight room, while also investing in the spiritual and physical growth of its athletes. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Booster Club or making a donation, email crusaderboosters@wc.org. Good luck, Crusaders.
Back here at Smith Field on the campus of Marian University, talk about the Central Wisconsin Christian Crusaders, who, as I mentioned, are 8-1 in the Flyway Conference. A win here this evening, and they go to 9-1 and share the regular season conference title with St. Mary's Springs. Both teams would be 9-1 and on 18 points. If a draw or a loss for the Crusaders, that would pull them either a point or two short in the standings. 11-2-1. They've played much fewer games than any other team, and it probably ended up helping them in the seeding process. We'll get maybe to that a little bit later on if we have some time to talk about that. But 11-2-1, 2 early season losses for CWC. Currently, they're riding an 8-match unbeaten streak. Now, their last time out, they tied 3-3 with Sheboygan Lutheran Christian, a team who opened the season as the top-ranked team in the state. A lot of people thought they were, far and away favorites to win a state championship. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if it was injuries or what happened there, but about midway through the season, Sheboygan Lutheran Christian kind of fell off a little bit, and they're out of the rankings now, and that was a draw on the road for CWC the last time out. But before that, 7 straight wins. It includes a win over St. Mary's Springs that we talked about, 3-1 at home back in April, and sets themselves up with an opportunity here as we are now into June. Usually you aren't playing regular season matches in June, but the weather was actually worse later on in the season than it was early in the season this year, and so this one gets pushed back here. But, hey, they're as hot as you could possibly be at this point in the season. They got a good seed in the postseason. They're primed for a run. I think the sectional is gettable this year, and again, we'll talk maybe a little bit more about that in just a couple of minutes. But there you go. You see the standings, and you see their form is top right now in the Flyway Conference. And you look at some player statistics for the Crusaders, and everything kind of starts with Lauren Rice, and she is one of the best players in the Flyway Conference. If I pull up the Flyway's statistics, she is 4th in the Flyway in points, and I believe she is 3rd in goal scoring. Yeah, she's tied with Ellie Woyan from Mayville in goal scoring. She's scored 20 goals. She has 47 points on the season, and is one of the premier strikers in a conference. I'll add that has a lot of them. It starts with Anna Willis from St. Mary's Springs. She's going to be the runaway player of the year. 104 points from her, 44 goals. She's tremendous. Audrina Welsh from North Fond du Lac, Ellie Woyan, but then Lauren Rice, Alex Yankee for Winnebago Lutheran. There's a lot of really good goal scorers in this conference, and Rice has herself right in the middle of that. Charlotte Butine's another one that I kind of look at for CWC, and she's not on the screen there. But she kind of is the engine in the midfield. Everything, if she has a good game, CWC is going to play well. And most of the time she does. Incredibly skillful. She's got great vision out there, knows how to pick out a pass. She's someone I'll be watching here as kind of a key player for the Crusaders. It's not all about stats in soccer, and you're kind of finding that out as well. There you go, a good shot there of Charlotte Butine. And look, I think she's one of the better players, one of the best midfielders that this conference has. But, going back to what we got there up on the screen, Addie Smits has scored some massive goals. They were at Mayville and they were tied with Mayville 2-2, and in the last minute and a half, she scored, able to poke one in, and that was a big goal when you're looking at a team that could potentially win a conference championship. So Addie Smits, another one. Jenna Scouten has 8 points on the year. So, look, I think if CWC is going to the statistics don't lie. If CWC scores, it's likely to be Rice or Smits. But look, this is a really talented team. It could be Scout and it could be Butine. It could be Ellie or Kaylee Perry. Like, they're very deep. They have something like 14, 15 players that have recorded a point here this season. So a lot of talent on this CWC team, and probably their best asset is how good they are defensively, especially over the course of this 8-match unbeaten streak.
What's interesting about that, Jordan, is what you're talking about here is there's one senior on this team, and that is Kaylee Perry. This is a team that is very young, and sometimes I wonder, the younger that you are, maybe you don't know any better. Maybe you shouldn't be worried that we're playing WLA. We've got this great record. We can score. We can be with anybody, so who cares?
Yeah, I think so. And just to kind of, that is a good reminder for me, because every time, the 2 times I've watched CWC, I thought to myself, Charlotte Butine plays like a senior.
Yeah.
And she's a sophomore.
Right.
So that just tells you, Coach Steeves has quite the collection here. And we're not looking forward to next season at all. But they are primed for an excellent next couple of years down in Waupun at CWC. Let's take a timeout, Jeff. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings in tonight's big match here, as we could potentially decide a Flyway Conference champion here at Smith Field. Stay with us on Jeff's.
Spring is here, and it's time for a tune-up at PT Tire and Service. Get your vehicle ready for those sunny drives with a thorough checkup. From oil changes and tire rotations to brake inspections and fluid top-offs, they've got you covered. Don't forget to check your wipers and battery, too. Swing by PT Tire and Service in Brandon for a spring refresh, ensuring your ride is safe and smooth all season long. Or call 920-346-TIRE to schedule an appointment. Your car will thank you. Sam's Well Drilling focuses on providing clean, safe water for everyone. Their expert well water testing checks for bacteria and nitrates, ensuring peace of mind. As part of Sam's commitment to providing safe water, an in-house water testing lab is integral to Sam's service offering. The Water Sampling Lab is a separate division SWD Labs and prides itself on friendly service and a quick turnaround. Whether for drinking, irrigation, or livestock, Sam's has it covered. Trust Sam's for all your water needs. Sam's Well Drilling, well worth it.
Andy Kolker at My Property Shop is ready to assist you with your real estate needs. She prides herself on quick and smooth transactions with excellent negotiation skills. She is the local agent who puts your needs ahead of her own. Andy has already sold over $1 million in property in the first quarter of 2025. Do you want quality, detailed, accurate information in the real estate market? If so, contact Andy today. My Property Shop, located at 6 East Franklin Street, Waupun, or call or text 920-296-8738.
King Manufacturing. Since 1926, we have been known for our first-class buildings and canopies. In fact, there are thousands of them.
Back here at Smith Field, thanks for joining us. Jordan King and Jeff Sauer with you. As we are into the pre-games here, we're going to talk about Winnebago Lutheran Academy. 7-2 in the conference season. The Vikings are 9-6-1 overall. Now, it's always kind of nice to put a little asterisk. WLA, like a lot of these flyway teams, plays an extremely challenging non-conference schedule. They've played Oostburg. Oostburg is ranked 3rd in the state. Played, I think when everything was all said and done, if you look at not necessarily the final poll, but throughout the season, they played, I believe it was 5 teams that were in the rankings at some point this year. And, by the way, if there was another week, CWC might have snuck in to the Division 4 poll. But anyways, 9-6-1 on the season. The Vikings had a nice winning streak that was, snapped by St. Mary's Springs there. It was a 5-game winning streak for the Vikings, including a couple of big conference wins, 4-0 wins over both North Fondy Oakfield and Hustisford Dodgeland. And I think at the start of the year, Winnebago Lutheran thought to themselves, maybe we're not quite Springs at the top of the conference, but can we be that second team behind the Ledgers? And tonight's their opportunity to prove it. If they can beat CWC, then those two teams will share second place behind St. Mary's Springs. And I think WLA would, if you would have offered that to them before the season, I think they would have said, yeah, that's a pretty good season for us, and that's what's on tap for them coming up here tonight. But again, you look at their first 4 games of the season. Watertown Luther Prep, they were ranked this season. Kiel is still ranked and one of the best teams in Division 3, a division up. Kettle Moraine Lutheran was a draw. KML has flirted with. They've gotten some votes, never appeared in the rankings in Division 3, and then Oostburg mentioned them as well. So WLA plays a tough schedule, and for them, a lot like Rice for CWC, it goes through Alex Yankee for the Vikings. She is 6th in the conference in terms of goals, and she is 6th in terms of points as well. Make it 7th in terms of points. Alex Yankee, tremendous goal scorer, 16 goals, 32 points. Now, she does have 0 assists. Part of that reason is she's faster than everyone else on the field. So there is no one there's no teammates up there when they play the through ball through to Alex Yankee. It's whether or not she can score it, because the defender's probably not catching her, and none of her teammates are going to catch her either. So Lacey Keifenheim has been a big player for WLA, stepping up her senior season. Talking to Coach Pastor David Hagg earlier this year, and he just said, look, we've had so many good attacking players over the years that we've had to put Lacey Keifenheim outside, where maybe it wasn't trying to put a square peg in a round hole, right? Not maybe her natural position. Now she gets to move into an attacking midfield position, central, and she's had a tremendous season. 7 goals, 2 assists, by far career highs for her. And then Lola Rich is a freshman, 4 goals, 6 assists. She's kind of the engine along with Ava Belk in that midfield. Those two have combined for 10 assists so far this season. And if anything good happens for WLA, generally it's Belk, it's Rich, and it's Yankee. Those 3, can they combine here tonight against a tough CWC team and give WLA an opportunity to maybe steal one and finish second in the Flyway Conference? Like I mentioned, that would be an excellent season for them. And, I forgot to mention the goalkeeper, Piper Signs from CWC, just a freshman. Her goal against average is identical to Winnebago Lutheran's Elena Schultz, both a 133 goals against average. Elena Schultz has 96 saves this year. That's an 84% save percentage. So 2 really good goalies as well, and they're going to make you beat them with good shots. And so we'll see if either one of these talented offenses have enough here coming up tonight to be able to beat these talented goalkeepers. And that's one of the stories here tonight as well.
Yeah, I haven't followed a lot of the Flyway stuff, and in fact, I was honest with Coach Steves. I didn't even know that CWC was necessarily in the Flyway until I was looking.
This is the first year in a long time that CWC is on the girls' side is back in the Flyway Conference. Now, the boys have been in the Flyway for years and years and years, but the girls used to be in an independent school, so they were not part of a conference. They just played whoever they wanted, and this year they're back in, and I can kind of see why.
Yeah,
Coach Steves has a good batch of girls here to bring back into the Flyway Conference, and lo and behold, they're back for the first time in a while. They could win it along with Springs with a win here tonight.
And a lot of these teams, you've had a chance to see them. You get a chance to have interviews. You've got the connections with your Flyway focus. You do an awesome job with promoting the Flyway. So I was happy as a clam to know that CWC was in there, because I knew I'd be able to have the opportunity to have those conversations. Speaking of Coach Steves, you can see him right there. Reagan's got a great shot there. And I believe number 3 for the Crusaders is Kaylee Perry, the one senior that's there. I don't know if you can recognize who the WLA captains are, perchance.
Yeah, the
23.
Yeah, the captain should be Carly Lang and Alex Yankee and Aaron Foose. So a couple of defenders, and then Alex Yankee, the striker for the Vikings. And the Vikings, by the way, have a very experienced back line of defenders, and 2 sophomores, 2 seniors back there. But the sophomores got a lot of minutes as freshmen. So, talking a lot about CWC and how well they've done defensively. WLA's got a pretty strong defense as well in front of Elena Schultz. That's part of the reason she has a 133 goals against average.
I think we'll, if you're good with it, we'll step aside here. We'll hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll come back in about 3 minutes or so and maybe get near the starting lineup. There's a great shot, again, that Reagan had in of the bench of CWC. And the doctor, of course, always has those absolutely amazing on-field shots. And then we've got the main camera. I mean, I just don't know what to do with the talent that we have on our cameras today. And we'll step aside. We'll be back here. This is Jeff Sauer on Jeff's live stream, along with Jordan King from the Flyway Focus, the Dr. Cameron Hatcher, Reagan, and Isaac. We'll be back.
Across America and in the Caribbean. We have also produced and developed many other steel products for use in retail, commercial, and industrial applications, such as building fascia, loading racks, wall panel systems, and much more. Our design record attests to our dedication to quality and customer satisfaction. King Manufacturing, from design to completion.
Born from a single project, WDS Construction has evolved into a nationwide general contractor and construction management company. But we're so much more than that. The cold storage industry is experiencing high demand and low capacity. WDS is building goodwill from the ground up through customized solutions. WDS is committed to outservice the competition and overdeliver for customers. A client-driven experience without question. Today, we're driven to be better in order to build better.
PT Tire and Service is a family-owned business that invests in you and your family. From one family to another, safe travels and seamless automotive maintenance makes every trip a great trip. PT Tire and Service, serving Central Wisconsin with excellence for over 20 years. Call 920-346-TIRE for all your automotive needs. PT Tire and Service, Brandon. No job too big or too small. PT Tire and Service in Brandon does it all. Call today, 920-346-TIRE.
The CWC Athletic Booster Club is proud to support this broadcast. The CWC Athletic Booster Club is a not-for-profit organization made up of CWC athlete family members and friends of the school. The club's goals are to support improvements of the CWC athletic facilities and programs, such as the recent investment into the school's new weight room, while also investing in the spiritual and physical growth of its athletes. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Booster Club or making a donation, email crusaderboostersWRC@WWC.org. Good luck, Crusaders.
Welcome to Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse. Here at Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse, we are proud to provide South Central Wisconsin with the most beautiful flowers and freshest fruits and vegetables. In the fall, we have many varieties of squash and pumpkins, to just name a few. We are also proud to offer one-of-a-kind gifts like hanging baskets, iron hangers, decorative planters, and concrete statuary. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for more info and pictures. So come on out to Hookstra's Marketing Greenhouse, located on Highway A between Fox Lake and Randolph, and you'll be glad you did.
Generations Lanes of El Dorado. Join one of our adult or kids leagues or bowl in our monthly Friday night tournament. Or get a group together for a family or corporate bowling function. We are more than just bowling. A great spot to bring your family for a meal. Awesome homemade pizzas and soups, as well as appetizers, wraps, and sandwiches. Daily food specials. Fish Fry Friday. Open daily at 11 with the kitchen open late. Ask about us catering your next function. We are home to Laconia Bowling and proud supporter of the Laconia Spartans and all student athletes.
Back here at Smithfield, they're shaking hands, and we'll have anthem and starters in just a second. As we do, track and field coming up on Friday and Saturday over in La Crosse. I'm ready to roll. I got my credentials lined up.
Awesome.
It is one of the most fun 2 days that I have across my season with Flyway Focus, and I'm really looking forward to that. CWC has a qualifier. They're 4x200 meter relay team. They're in Division 3. Obviously, selfishly, Springs is in their heat as well, and I think Springs has a real chance to win a state title. But CWC, Hannah Abel, Tabitha Bualda, Leah Fry, and one Lauren Rice, who is also the leading scorer. We told you about that.
Right, yep.
Jenna Skouten's an alternate, and Mia Jors is also an alternate there. So they're headed to state. And for Winnebago Lutheran, Max Huntsman is headed to state in the high jump. He qualified at the brutally challenging Marinette sectional that knocked out a lot of really talented WLA and Campbell Sport athletes on Friday. So there you go. They're going to have the anthem and starters. We'll come back in just a second here on Jeff's live streams.
Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner. Grab one of the daily specials or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry. Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options: appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin.
Sam's Well Drilling focuses on providing clean, safe water for everyone. Their expert well water testing checks for bacteria and nitrates, ensuring peace of mind. As part of Sam's commitment to providing safe water, an in-house water testing lab is integral to Sam's service offering. The Water Sampling Lab is a separate division SWD Labs and prides itself on friendly service and a quick turnaround. Whether for drinking, irrigation, or livestock, Sam's has it covered. Trust Sam's for all your water needs. Sam's Well Drilling, well worth it.
Terry Holes and Ada Shun-Jones Realty is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. With over 20 years of full-time experience in the real estate industry, Terry has had the privilege of helping clients buy and sell homes and properties totaling hundreds of millions of dollars. His deep knowledge of the market, attention to detail, and commitment to clients has driven his success and made each transaction a positive experience. Terry was born and raised in Oakfield. He and his family have deep ties to the community. Terry knows this area when it comes to real estate. Contact Terry at 920-238-5558 for all your realty needs in the greater Oakfield area, or check him out on Facebook at Terry Holes Realtor.
Back here at Smithfield, going to have the starting lineups here in the stadium, and we'll give them to you as well. We'll start with CWC. In goal, Piper Signs, told you about her, 133 goals against average. Around the back four, it's a 4-5-1, you could call it. You could also call it a 4-3-3. Piper Signs in goal. Around the back four, Natalie Leram, Kate Westra, Abigail Tenaple, and Elise Tibby. In the midfield, Ellie Perry, Kaylee Perry, and Charlotte Butine. And then up front, in a couple of wingers, Bella Skalma, Addie Smits, and Lauren Rice is leading the line as the striker for CWC.
Doctor, I think you can probably get on the field and show if a straight-on shot. I think it's okay. We always try and push the limit.
Yeah, get out there.
What are they going to do? Is say you're stressing the grass?
Just fine. So that's the starting lineup, a 4-3-3. Again, starting from the back, Signs in goal. Defenders Leram, Westra, Tenaple, Tibby. In the midfield, Perry, and Butine. And up front, Skalma, Rice, and Smits. The starters for the Crusaders. And we'll let them finish up introducing them here in the stadium, and then we'll move on to the Vikings. Once again, we told you earlier on that Central Wisconsin Christian is 8-1 in the flyway. There you go. Those are the starters for the Crusaders and coached by Paul Steebs, who also does the boys program as well, by the way. And now the starters for the Vikings. It's a 4-4-2. You could also call it a 4-5-1 or a 4-4-1-1, depending on how you look at it and how the game's being played. Elena Schultz is in the goal. She has a 133 goals against average. Around the back four for the Vikings, Erin Foos is the left back. Izzy Will and Carly Lang are the center defenders, and Miriam Borgward is the right back. Going around the midfield, outside mids, Madeline Schwefel will play out left, Kaya Rachi on the right. Lola Rich and Ava Belk patrol the midfield. Lacey Keifenheim's an attacking mid, and Alex Yankee and her 16 goals are up top for the Vikings. Once again for WLA, starting with Schultz in goal. And the defenders, Foos, Will, Lang, and Borgwart. Midfielders, Schwefel, Rich, Belk, Rachi. And in the attack, Keifenheim, an attacking midfielder, and Yankee, the striker, for the 7-2 Vikings. 11 teams in the Flyway Conference in girls soccer. A lot of satellite members. Obviously, you start with the normal 8. You subtract Laconia because they don't have soccer, and you add in Central Wisconsin Christian, Hustisford Dodgeland, Lourdes Academy, Valley Christian, and Wayland Academy. And then, of course, North Fond du Lac, they co-op with Oakfield for girls soccer. So there you go. Those are the starters for both of the programs. WLA is coached by Pastor David Haig. And we are just about ready for kick here between the Crusaders and the Vikings. Should be a good one. Once again, before we get going, if you're just joining us at the kick, got to tell you, this one has a lot on the line. A win for CWC, and they share the Flyway Conference crown at 9-1 with St. Mary's Springs. If they lose or draw, Springs wins it outright. So maybe there's some ledgers out there. A unique night for the Ledgers. They're going to be cheering for the Vikings. That's that's not a usual one for the crosstown rivals, but certainly a win for WLA gives Springs another outright title. You'd always rather be in their shoes, though, right? They can sit back, and they've already done the job. They have clinched their share of the Flyway Conference title. Winnebago Lutheran in their home blues with the white crest, the white letters, and CWC in their road whites with the blue letters, and there's a little gold on there, isn't there? Maybe not.
I don't think there is on their jerseys, but that is their school colors.
But anyways, I always like the high contrast jerseys, and these are absolutely that. You can pick out the numbers fairly easily from up here in the press box.
Which is always a thankful thing. Thank you very much for making sure that happens.
Yeah.
And they're good size on the front.
I've done too many soccer matches where we get the creative white on white with the blue outline or the gold letters from a team like CWC. So thank you for putting blue on there. Whoever made that decision, appreciate that. We're underway as Yankee kicks it back to Keifenheim, and a quick turnover here to Charlotte Butine. Between these two teams that over the years, now full disclosure, I played in a lot of CWC versus WLA soccer matches on the boys' side of things for Winnebago Lutheran, and you always knew they were going to be physical, borderline bloodbathy. And you always get up for those, right? You always get up for those physical matches, and I think this is going to be some of the same here as Coach Steeves continues to imprint his fingerprint on this team, and something that, look, you'll find if you come to a Central Wisconsin Christian boys soccer match is they're very physical. And if you don't like that, you say it's dirty, but it's not. It's just physical play, and Coach Steeves, a tremendous player in his own right, kind of back in my era, actually. And he's doing a terrific job with both sets of these programs. And by the way, Coach Pastor David Haig is the boys coach as well as the girls coach as well. So these two intimately familiar with each other since Steve's got to CWC 3 years ago or so.
And it's been awesome to see the build that he has on the program.
Yeah.
And again, I just love seeing the competitiveness that's taking place in between all of these teams. I think part of the thing that you see from the CWC programs, they don't have football. So their guys don't have any way to take that physicalness except for in soccer.
And you can tell that they don't have football because they have players that would be excellent linebackers playing soccer. And by the way, very good soccer players as well. So
definitely,
you don't have to be 5'11", 125 pounds to be a good soccer player. So there you go. Good throw here from Butine. That was probably the first thing that jumped off the page at me when I saw them beat Mayville at Mayville was her terrific range of passing, an excellent free kick taker, and someone who is also incredibly dangerous on corner kicks. But Butine has also got a long throw, and that could be dangerous throughout the night tonight as well. Winnebago Lutheran, their first foray into the attacking third of the field, and they win a throw-in there as Lacey Keifenheim has it deflect, that time off of Ellie Perry. Long throw this time from Lola Rich, the freshman, and Perry cuts it out, clears it to Smits. Smits turns and gets the ball up ahead to Rice, and Rice, a little bit of a loose touch there, and it's turned back over to Lola Rich. Rich sneaks a toe in there. And I think we're seeing right now what we're going to see a lot of today. There, down goes Rich as Rice comes through the back, and a free kick to Winnebago Lutheran. It'll be Izzy Will, the sophomore, to take this one. I think you're going to see a lot of this tonight. A lot of this match is going to be played, between the big Ledger S and the Marian M on the field. You're big midfield battle here today. Both of them are probably okay with that, with the strength that they have in the midfield. Great tackle that time coming in from Miriam Borgwart, and Winnebago Lutheran's got a little bit of an opportunity here with Keifenheim in a gap, and she half cross, half shot, and it saved that time from Signs. An easy one to get Signs into this game. Good height for her. She catches and sets CWC the other way. And again, you can, with the turf, a goalie punt could turn into danger for the other team in a hurry with a couple of big bounces. Over there on the right side, you have Scouten, and Jenna Scouten cuts back inside, past a couple of WLA defenders, and a diving stop that time from Elena Schultz. Sure hands from the junior, and that was a beautiful run from Scouten to cut back inside onto her left foot and fire one away. Battle there won by Alex Yankee. Yankee looking up ahead to Rachi, and Kaya Rachi's going to give chase to this. And patrolling over and clearing that one is Kate Westra. And a deflection keeps it with Central Wisconsin Christian. Here's Butine, and this is where Winnebago Lutheran's got to be careful. You can't let Butine have too much room in the midfield, or she's going to pick her head up and able to deliver that pass. And there's, it's one thing to see it, and there's enough soccer players that can see the field. It's another thing to be able to physically deliver the pass, and she can do both. That one just runs away off of the end line.
Good, that was Butine trying to hit Scouten, I believe, over there on the run.
And that was one that is going to stay in at Mulder Field, but not here on the turf. So Will with the goal kick, and Butine there. Touch to Rice. Rice quickly out to Smits, and just a hot shot there from Rice, and Smits not able to keep it under her control, but going to have another long throw here for CWC. See if they can get some bodies inside the box, and going to throw it a little bit shorter here to the corner, and it's Rice. And this one, again, is just going to run out that end line. And it may take a few minutes here for CWC to reacquaint themselves with the turf. Not sure how much they've played on it all season long. They had CWC at home, and that was probably a bit of an advantage with the speed that and the precision that Springs plays with. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They like the ball to roll perfectly, and if you sometimes, like I said, Mulder Field is a beautiful facility, but on natural grass, you're going to get bounces that aren't so friendly sometimes. Another save there for Elena Schultz. And she'll try to set Winnebago Lutheran on the way. Here is Lacey Keifenheim touching it back out to Kairachi. She can't keep it in.
What a great shot there by Reagan as the girl ran right at her.
Butine looks into Rice, and that's cut out by Lola Rich. Rich, a tremendously impressive freshman for the Vikings. Played varsity basketball as a freshman as well. Came off the bench for Coach Schraffnagel's crew and starts here in probably, I think if you talk to her, her preferred sport is soccer. That one flicked on by Madeline Schwefel, and a nice job to cut that out. Coming back was Abby Tenaple, and if nothing else, gives CWC a chance to get back into some sort of shape. On the defensive side, Aaron Foose with a long throw. And it's kept in there by Foose, and going to try to shield off a couple of defenders. Does so well. And there is Madeline Schwefel on the left side trying to cut it back in. And that time one out by CWC. I believe that's Tenaple again, getting the ball up to Rice, and Rice able to turn and start to run. There's Scouten on the right. And Rice, once again, with a big touch, she's chasing. Will, for Winnebago Lutheran, gets back, but it's a corner kick for CWC, and an excellent job that time from Rice, using her speed to put some pressure on Winnebago Lutheran's defense. And you'll get to see the first example of just how dangerous these corner kicks can be from Charlotte Butine.
It's just very interesting how they do this to me. I mean, they just ran a girl from all the way from the defensive side all the way down.
Yep. And a lot of teams will do that. They'll put it right by the goalkeeper, try to be physical in there. CWC scored twice off of set pieces against Mayville, and they get a shot there from Scouten. And another save here for Elena Schultz. That's her third today.
We are so lucky today, Jordan. I'm sorry, but we have had some great camera shots here from the Dr. Cameron Hatcher down there, as well as Reagan down on the pitch.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Here's a chance for Alex Yankee to give chase to a through ball from Madeline Schwefel. That one out the end line, and a nice piece of defending that time from Westra to just be physical and bump Yankee off of her trail and headed back the other way. Yeah, you'll see a lot of teams, Jeff. I think Winnebago Lutheran will do it too. They're going to send one of their center backs, defenders, all the way forward on corner kicks. Generally speaking, you got some height and maybe some physicality that you can bring into that mixer and see if you can't cause the defense some problems. Here's Smits. Has a step on her defender, but a nice job by Izzy Will to swoop in there and scoop that away. Helped out by Miriam Borgward, but another long throw coming. And this is where CWC kind of wears you down from a mental perspective. They're just going to continue to knock with these long throws, the free kicks, the corner kicks. This one's helped on by Lola Rich. Ends up on the far side with Scouten, and she's bundled through by Foos. And no whistle forthcoming. Probably not enough contact to warrant a penalty kick, I don't think, in there. Here is Scouten back to her feet. She turns, trying to get the ball to Rice. Foos is up to the task, and she ushers it out of, no, it's going to be kept in there by Madeline Schwefel, and Schwefel trying now to break the line, not able to do so. So it's going to be a CWC throw-in. Natalie Liram over there. And this is quickly turned over to Lacey Keifenheim for the Vikings. And Keifenheim trying quickly to find Alex Yankee. You'll see that a lot. The Vikings will do that a handful of times each half. They're just going to try to belt one forward and see if Yankee can't get onto it. With her impressive speed, she's a physical player up top as well, as WLA will have another goal kick.
I've been very impressed so far with how much zone time on the offensive side of the field that CWC has had here in this contest so far.
Yeah, I am too. I'm a little surprised. You know, there hasn't been any clear-cut chances yet for either team. But you're right, more opportunities for CWC in that final third. I still expect the majority of this game to be played right in the middle of the field. But we'll see if that pans out. Sometimes on the turf, that's hard to do. Here's Yankee giving chase, and Westra's got to be careful. She plays it off the ankle of Yankee, but kept in on that far side there with Liram, and she's not able to find a teammate, but she'll win a throw-in for the Crusaders. 11 and a half minutes gone in this one. The current result would have Springs win the flyway outright. Central Wisconsin Christian, the onus is on them. They have to score at least one. Well, you know, they gotta win this ball game today in order to win the flyway conference. Here's Kayarachi trying to keep this one in. It kind of spun awkwardly off the boot of Lola Rich, and a throw in for Tibby. And she'll get the ball quickly to Butine, who is quickly met by Rachi. And Alex Yankee putting the pressure on the back line of the Crusaders there. Rice, see if she can run this down. Carly Lang able to put a foot in. Kept in by Rachi. Nice play there by Kayarachi, and then she dribbles it out. And once again, another Crusader throw. Here's Rice, off of a little bit of a awkward bounce, and Schultz scoops it up. I think that might have hit the outside of the post anyways. We can credit Schultz with a save there, but that would probably be a generous one. And here's Keifenheim. And a little miscommunication there with Alex Yankee, the striker. And it's Schwefel who has it now. Schwefel tries to play it out to Erin Foos, and Foos has to be careful. She is clattered into and taken down by Scouten, and a free kick going the other way.
Jenna is a very aggressive player when it comes to anything, and I think
Couldn't
that's
tell.
good.
Couldn't tell. Ball belted forward, and once again, that second ball right now is being won the majority of the time by CWC. And that's part of the reason that they've had a little bit more of the possession and a little bit more of the offensive action as well. Westra with Yankee bearing down on her. A bad deflection. We'll see here. And this is a dangerous play. Goalkeeper is out, and
wow,
no shot forthcoming from Rachi. Belk tracks it down. That was an awkward deflection. I thought Tibby should have just maybe taken that, but Signs was coming out, and if the goalkeeper calls for it, you better listen.
Oh.
And that one's going to run out of play the other way. But my goodness, that heart's in the throats of Central Wisconsin Christian fans everywhere. As Signs decided to come out, she got something on it, and a conversation there with one of her coaches about perhaps a little too aggressive there. It almost caught her if Rachi could have gotten a shot off there. Here is Rachi. She's able to get a foot on this one, and Yankee's going to be able to get on the end of it. Good touch on that far side by Schwefel. Schwefel gets it back from Yankee. And we'll see what Madeline Schwefel, the junior, can do down that left-hand side. She cuts it back, looking inside to Lola Rich. Keifenheim's going to get there first. And Keifenheim doesn't have any options right or left, so she has to try to play a difficult pass. The movement perhaps hasn't quite been there yet for the Vikings in terms of off the ball. Here is Alex Yankee. Dangerous chance for her, and it's blocked. An excellent job by Abby Tenaple to stick her boot in the way and get a crucial block there on one of the top 5 goal scorers in the conference.
I would assume that Coach Steves has said, number whatever, you're paying attention, you're marking
for
her.
Sure. Yeah, if you get beat today, you can't get beat by, and similarly for the Vikings, I think Coach Pastor David Hagg will say the same thing. 12 can't beat us today. Rice can't beat you. If someone else makes a play, well, then they make a play. Here's the corner kick, a little bit short, and that one is cleared away from the Crusaders' goal. And Butine going to get there? No, nice play there by Miriam Borgwart, and then Rich finding Rachi, who was in an offside position. So
great job there by Cameron down there to see that. But we can see the perfect offsides and with camera work there.
An excellent job by Miriam Borgwart there for the Vikings. If Butine gets on that, Rice was making a run, and I think the Vikings would have been in some trouble there. Instead, it's a free kick back in the defensive third for the Crusaders. And here's Rice with a loose touch and goes shoulder to shoulder with Lola Rich. And Rich gives away a throw in to Tibby, who gets it right back to Rice. And Lauren Rice able to turn and run at the defenders. And that's, if you're the Vikings, you know, if I was putting myself on that coaching staff, I would say if Rice is turned around, you can't let her turn and start getting some momentum headed your way. Nice job there by Butine to make a block, and she's going to try to send Rice away. That time Rice just wasn't far enough ahead. I don't think Butine knew that. Obviously, she wouldn't have let the pass go, I don't think. Here she is once again, win the ball in the midfield, gets it over to Ellie Perry, and that one, another good tackle by the Vikings in the midfield. And WLA's just kind of growing into this game, you feel a little bit. The pendulums of momentum is swinging ever so slightly back towards the Vikings, and they've had a couple of opportunities, a few more chances in the attacking third as well. And we're going to see a few subs come in here for either team. Now, one thing to keep in mind for the Vikings, their first sub off the bench was international foreign exchange student Sylvia Sopena, and she's from Spain and had to go back just the day after graduation, so they're without her for the rest of the season. So you're losing your 12th player, right? Your first player off the bench, the 6th man if we were talking basketball, and someone who was a big, just a big contributor for the Vikings in the midfield, and you don't have her anymore. So that's a big loss for WLA the rest of the way. See how they're able to deal with that. Once again, a clearance from CWC, and they're going to send Scouten on her way. Just once again, finding it tough to keep the ball in play successfully are the Crusaders. Their long, rangy passes that are usually so accurate, not quite reaching their intended target with the speed on the ground. Here's Lindley Jarabic for the Vikings off the bench, battling with Natalie Liram. And that one is kind of screwed backwards, and here you go, the Vikings with another opportunity. Yankee getting the ball up top, trying to find Taylor Larange down this right-hand side. Can Larange get there? She will get there. And this one takes a couple of deflections and helps WLA, I would say. And this is Marissa Toll down there, another freshman for the Vikings, and it's finally cleared by Westra. Smits with a nice touch, but Borgwart's right there, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Ever so slightly, WLA's just kind of grown into this game. The first 10 minutes were clearly dominated by CWC, but the Vikings have had the better of the last 5 for sure. Here is Borgwart once again, trying to play a one through the window, and this is going to be collected by Westra and cleared out of bounds. And the Vikings will retain possession, which they'll be happy to do. Here's Tibby facing her own goal. Nice job to get it to Westra, but Westra's clearance goes straight to Keifenheim, who plays the ball back in, and nothing comes of it there. But here once again is Toll. Yankee back to Toll. And tell you what, Toll, who did not get a ton of, she's in there because Sopena's gone, right? And she's doing a nice job for the Vikings so far. There's a physical play there. And Yankee, tell you what, neither one of these teams are scared to go 50-50 into a challenge. They're going to be physical. This is a lunch pail, hard hat kind of soccer match tonight. Down in the corner, Crusaders trying to find a way to break this first line of WLA. They're not able to do it again. Once again, Toll forces a turnover. Here's Keifenheim. She has that one tackled away from her, and a long shot is pretty benign that time from Ava Belk, and scooped up by Piper Signs. See if Signs can, that's a good kick there from Signs. And now putting WLA under some pressure is Lauren Rice. Rice able to get a good first touch and just eased off the ball that time from Carly Lang, and Smits fires way over. That was a nice play by Carly Lang. Well, first a nice play by Rice to get a foot in there, and then by Lang, who was on the wrong side of Rice. You never want to be on the back side of the attacking player, but she did a nice job to just ease her out of the way. This is Kaylee Perry. Perry up ahead to Rice once again. The ever-dangerous Lauren Rice. That one into the mixer, and WLA able to just scoop it away. No, that's Kaylee Perry again, and she'll force the 5th save of the day from Elena Schultz.
Oh, I would thought they would have been keeping it up on the scoreboard, but it's not their home scoreboard. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what is a shot? That's the question. You can inflate goalkeepers' statistics, as some teams will do.
I would hope not. I mean, it really is a clear definition of a shot, of a
save.
Well, yeah,
it's got to be something that was going to go in the goal.
Correct.
And you'll get all sorts of crazy numbers thrown out there. Here is Aaron Foose, has it turned over. Here's Rice. Rice able to turn and face, but a nice job once again by Lacey Keifenheim. There you go. There's an attacking player from Winnebago Lutheran tracking all the way back into her defensive third and putting a tackle in. A nice job there. Here's a 50-50 ball. Won that time by Perry. Tibby swings it towards Rice, and Rice can't collect. Izzy will right on Rice's back that time. Here's Ava Belk. Good first touch from Belk, and she's going to try to set away Alex Yankee. Yankee, yeah, it's a nice move there. Gets away from Tenaple. Yankee around Westrow, and she's taken down. And I'll tell you what, by the letter book of the law, that might have to be a yellow card, and the referee is going to stop it. I think that's what they're going to say with there's no one behind Westra there. And I know the fans are going to complain because they think it was not one of the most physical challenges you'll ever see.
Right.
And by the way, I'm not trying to say that anyone is not knowledgeable about soccer.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying here.
Right,
I'm saying by the letter book of the law,
right.
You probably have to give a yellow card there because of where it happened and the situation that it was in. And
so what
Tibby
does the yellow card do? Does that automatically send?
She's got to leave for a play, so she's
Yep.
she's just gonna stand right there and check right back in.
Yep.
Tibby just got scolded by the other official because she moved the ball, which you can't do, and that's really a yellow card offense as well. This is a good ball. Izzy Will scores for the Vikings, and they're on the board first in the 24th minute. Izzy Will swings one, and it goes right over Sines' head. Nothing she could do about it. Piper Sines had no shot. And you can debate the yellow card all you want, but it was a foul, and the foul resulted in a goal for the Vikings. My goodness, what a ball driven in that time by Izzy Will. And
I don't think anything that I saw from there, Jordan, that there was no way to stop that either way. I mean, they had the wall there. There was nothing to do.
There's a lot of good goalkeepers who would have saw that one fly over their heads, that's for sure. So a 1-0 lead for the Vikings here in the 24th minute. A beautiful goal from Izzy Will, a center defender for the Vikings from about 23 yards out or so. No assist on the goal, although you could... You could argue that you could give an assist to Alex Yankee, and now we're going to get the shouting after every. This is why referees don't give out yellow cards, because then every tackle after that, the fans yell, "That should have been a yellow card." And by the way, CWC is not the only fan base that does it. Everyone does it. It's just annoying.
Speaking of fan bases, Jordan, though, we've got good fan bases for both teams here. I mean, we'll get hopefully shots right before halftime from Reagan or from. The doctor down there.
Well, I'll just say this, in the Flyway Conference, I don't know about the Trailways because that's not my area of expertise, but in the Flyway, this is it today. There is nothing else going on the sports calendar.
Yep.
As sectionals for softball start up tomorrow, state sectionals for golf is tomorrow, baseball and soccer start regional rounds tomorrow. Well, baseball started Thursday, but you get the picture. It's playoff season. You shouldn't be playing regular season. But anyways, these two teams are. So it's good that we have full crowds because you don't have an excuse. No one else is playing tonight. Here's Marissa Toll for the Vikings, and a nice play that time from Tenaple to cut that out. And Tibby headed back the other way for the Crusaders. Gets the ball out to Smith. Smith's a one-touch pass in here to Vree. Vree with a couple of touches, gets the ball to Rice. Rice with a shot, just kind of blocked that time. Once again, it was Marian Borgwart with an excellent play defensively for the Vikings.
The goalie, I've been very impressed with the play from the goalie for WLA so far.
It's been excellent for Schultz. Hasn't been asked to make any super crazy saves just yet.
But the ball skids and skips and stuff like that, so you could always get something that would be taking a weird skid.
And sometimes the summer, this isn't quite so bad, but you'll get into the postseason of the boys' season, and sometimes late on those fall nights, you get a little dew on the turf.
Yep.
And that makes it even worse, the skip. Here is Jarabic trying to earn a corner for the Vikings, and the Vikings end up earning that corner kick, and once again, you'll see two different players for the Vikings go up into the box. Aaron Foose and Carly Lang. Now, this is pretty aggressive for Winnebago Lutheran, up by a goal. I'm not sure I would leave anyone one-on-one with Lauren Rice out at midfield. But that is the choice that the Vikings have made. Here is Lola Rich with the corner kick, swings it in. Flies through everyone. And here's an opportunity for Edie, I believe that is. Off the bench for the Vikings. And Lindley Jarabic collects for WLA, back to Edie. Edie gets the ball caught underneath her feet. And she'll pass it back to Aaron Foose, who will belt it up the field. Here is Edie once again. Hannah Edie making a couple of plays here for the Vikings off of the bench. And that time cut out by the Crusaders. There on that far side, once again, Skalma. Skalma gets it from Rice, and it runs out of play. There it is again, the turf.
Yep.
It's a different game. It just feels so much quicker, and the passes that you're so used to.
Yeah, right.
You've passed that pass 100 times, and it's never gone out of bounds, and now it does. That's just the way it is. 1-0 if you're just joining us here on Jeff's live streams. Jeff Sauer, Jordan King with you. 24th minute goal from Izzy Will for the Vikings off of a gorgeous free kick from the right-hand side, about 25 yards or so out to the top left corner. Now into the 28th minute between these two teams, and that goal will certainly put a smile on St. Mary's Springs fans' faces. I'm not sure I've seen any Ledger fans here. If they're here, they'd probably be sitting in the Winnebago Lutheran section, I would think. That's who they're cheering for tonight. An outright title for the Ledgers if WLA wins. Here's Butine. Gets it out here to Tibby. Tibby, this one screws out on the near side and out of bounds for another goal kick for the Vikings. So as it stands, the Crusaders need 2 goals to share the conference title with the Ledgers. In the postseason bracket, tell you about this. Winnebago Lutheran got a 6 seed. Central Wisconsin Christian got a 3 seed, edging out St. Mary's Springs for that 3 seed. Both teams will host coming up on Thursday. Here's Rice. Rice has that one fire off Izzy Will. A good block from the goal scorer for the Vikings. And Yankee gives chase once again to Naples. I think Coach Steeves, and trying to get into the mind of Coach Steeves a little bit here, it certainly looks as if Tenaple is following Alex Yankee around. Anywhere you go, I go. And giving her the shadow treatment. Make sure she doesn't get free. Can't lose track of her. And that's a good plan, I think, from Coach Steeves. Here's a ball from Lola Rich, taken care of by Westra. And that one belted forward again, and Yankee will give chase again. She's like the Energizer Bunny. She'll make that run 1,000,000 times in a game, and she 90th minute, or 80th minute, I should say. And she'll still be running out there. This is another one that deflects out and gives the ball back to Winnebago Lutheran. CWC on Thursday will host Columbus, the 14 seed. That's a 6 p.m. game from Mulder Field. Winnebago Lutheran hosts Wisconsin Heights Barneveld. That's the sectional that they're in. They head kind of southwest, although I say that, and Oostburg's the number 1 seed. Makes sense. Makes sense of that for me, Jeff. I'm not a geography major.
Oh, yeah, right. I know.
I'm not a geography major, but neither was anyone from the WIAA. Here's Rice. Rice, dangerous ball across, deflected out of the hands of Schultz, and she able to scamper back and fall on top of it. That was a great shot from Rice, and I'll tell you what, Smits had herself a chance to poke in a rebound as the usually sure-handed Elena Schultz let that one slip through the fingers. And this one headed towards the touchline. And the Vikings, every time, just finding a way to clear that ball away from danger. Here's Keifenheim. Has it cut out that time from Liram. Here's Natalie Liram. Tries to play the ball into the mixer. It deflects back out to Rice. Rice with a cross. This one's a diving save by Schultz. Off the post and in. And it's Smits. Addie Smits ties things up in the 31st minute. That time, just about the same exact play as a minute prior. And Smits, this time, made no mistake. Deflects off the hands of Schultz, just as it did about
almost the same exact play
a minute
right?
ago.
Looked like an instant replay.
and this time Smits was ready for it. Once again, though, the Vikings, are kicking. You can't do anything about the rebound necessarily, but the Vikings got to be kicking themselves for letting Rice get that free 2 times in a row, and Rice is going to take a seat here. Rice won't get the assist. There will be no assist on that play, but a 31st minute goal from Addie Smits, the second leading scorer. She's just a freshman. Like, what seems like 75% of this roster. I know it's only like half. The point remains.
Very young
Tons
team.
of freshmen out there for the Crusaders. In the midfield, this is Perry. And gets it up to Smits that time. Here, the Vikings once again able to clear. This is Kayarachi out on the right wing. Inside to Keifenheim. Keifenheim with a long first touch. And taken away that time from Ellie Perry. And a turn from Charlotte Butine. And no one running for her. But it's going to be collected. And Scouten had an opportunity there. 32nd minute here, 32 minutes gone. You can see a physical, hard-played game so far. You can kind of see ever so slightly having its effects on some of the players out there. They just don't have the legs they had at the start of the match.
Jenna was right side before. Now she's left side.
When Skalma came in, they moved her over to the right. And an opportunity also to get Rice out, so you move Smits up top, so kind of move the chess pieces around to get your star player a few minutes of rest here on the bench from Coach Steves. One's nice for the Crusaders. It ties it up, but they want another. They need another if they have any designs of winning a conference championship here. What a welcome back to the flyway that would be.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Here's Tibby. Good shield. Butine looking forward. And it'll be Scouten giving chase. Carly Lang deals with it. Safety first from the senior captain. And Butine will take her time jogging up the field with a long throw for the Crusaders. Looking into Smits once again. That's a good target to look for, I would say. Smits turns and kind of skies that one, but she's able to keep it in play. The Vikings have a miscommunication. Borgward eventually clears it out, but only as far as Perry. And Perry over to the far side finds Lirum working against Schwefel. And Schwefel able to dispossess for the time being. But here come the Crusaders once again. Outside, this is Vree. And Vree wins a corner kick. That's an excellent job by Alana Vree. Another freshman.
Yep. I mean, it's just a very, very young CWC team, and they don't play as I was talking about early on, Jordan, in the pregame. They don't play like they're very inexperienced.
Not at all. And Butine's going to get a break here as Rice comes back, and everyone's kind of looking at each other. What do we do when Charlotte Butine's not on the field? Who takes the corner kick? And they're going to send Natalie Lirum up to take it from the right corner. They have a few different set pieces that they'll use, do the Crusaders. This one driven in towards the goal and cleared away by the Vikings. That was Lang. Lirum will have the throw as well. A lot of things change when Charlotte Butine's not on the field. Corner kicks change, throw-ins change. And the Vikings have a goal kick here in the 35th minute. 40-minute halves. Don't ask me about that. For a few years, they played 45-minute halves, 90-minute matches, which was perfect. That's how it should have stayed. But they went back to the 80-minute halves, and that one is a throw-in won by Lola Rich. No, they're going to give it to the Crusaders. Even the Crusaders were running back because they knew it was off of them, but nonetheless, it'll be a throw-in for CWC. And Butine's coming back in, so that's enough of that. Get her back in there, Coach Steve says.
I'm always interested about how, the clock just ticks. There's no consequence. And in other sports, this would be considered to be a delay of game or something like that, right?
Yeah, especially in the second half. If you're doing this when you're winning, that's when the referees maybe don't have quite so much patience. Goal kick for the Vikings.
Lauren Rice just in there throwing her body. She's not the tallest girl on the field, but she's in there battling.
You mentioned the gamesmanship that goes on sometimes in soccer, Jeff. It's, you got to wipe off the ball and make sure it's dry, even though we haven't had rain. Well, theoretical situation here.
Right.
You could have a drought of 40 days, and they'd still find some moisture on the ball that has to get wiped off. Sweat, probably, right?
Right, exactly. From working so hard, dripping off the top of the forehead.
I won't accuse any teams. I won't say who it was. Here's Alex Yankee and Tenaple once again with bout number 30 of the game between those two. Great battle going on between those two. But we were losing by a goal. Here's Kairachi. Hang on, I'll get back to that story in a second. Thought Kairachi might have had an opportunity for the Vikings as the Crusaders cleared out with Butine, and that pass a little bit too far for Vree on that far side. But anyways, we were losing by a goal, and time in the final 20 minutes, and an opposing player had the ball in his hands and then dropped it on the ground, rolled it around, and then said, "This one's wet. Can I have a new one?" Well, I was never shy about letting my opinions be known to the dudes wearing yellow, and they didn't like that too much. But that's the sport. That's the sport.
It was
we,
in the
we
rules,
play,
right? It was in the rules. And they get stretched.
Stretch. That's a friendly way of saying that. Anyways, 1-1 here, 38th minute, a couple minutes here till halftime. And this game has had some ebbs and flows to it. CWC, if you're just joining us, CWC started off well. First 10 minutes, 12 minutes, the Crusaders had the lion's share of the possession. And then the Vikings really grew into the game, and I would say for about 15 minutes we're the much better team. And these last few minutes, CWC gets the equalizer in the 31st minute, and since then it's been pretty even in the midfield. I think a 1-1 score is probably just about right to reflect how this game's been played. Here's Lola Rich looking out wide to Kairachi. Rachi gonna work against Tibby. Tries to get the ball inside, but it's cleared out by Westra. Nice move that time from Lola Rich. Rich has a couple of yards. Tries to put one into Alex Yankee, and guess who? Tenaple's there to clear for the Crusaders. Important tackle made in the midfield, that time from Ava Belk. And Izzy Will clears for the Vikings out to Madeline Schwefel. Here's Butine. 1 minute left in this first half. And hope Butine's okay. She's a little slow getting up there. I think she's fine. I think that was one of those that, hey, I've been on the bench for about 45 seconds this half.
Right. She's worked her tail off, and that's a little bit of exhaustion.
Getting emotional down there. That was a lot of some screaming going on. Who should get the throw in? It's okay. It's just the first half. Smits and Lang, a great battle there on the sideline. And a throw for the Crusaders. And Butine goes down behind the play. They tried to stop it. Really, with CWC in the possession, they should have stopped that right then and there. But Butine back up. And hopefully she's all right. She just went down in a heap on this near side, grabbing her shoulder. And hope she's okay. She's one of the better players out there on the field. And certainly hope she's all right headed to the second half. Halftime here. 40 minutes played, it's 1-1. First, a 24th minute goal from Izzy Will. The sophomore defender for the Vikings came up and scored a dandy of a free kick. And then in the 31st minute, freshman Addie Smits scored her 11th goal of the season and tied this thing back up. Still, the Crusaders need one more if they have designs of winning a conference championship. As it stands right now, they would finish 1 point behind St. Mary's Springs in the conference standings. We'll be back. We'll take a timeout, come back with some halftime thoughts for you here on Jeff's live stream. Stay.
Andy Kolker at My Property Shop is ready to assist you with your real estate needs. She prides herself on quick and smooth transactions with excellent negotiation skills. She is the local agent who puts your needs ahead of her own. Andy has already sold over $1 million in property in the first quarter of 2025. Do you want quality, detailed, accurate information in the real estate market? If so, contact Andy today. My Property Shop, located at 6 East Franklin Street, Waupun, or call or text 920-296-8738.
Is your child ready for life? At Central Wisconsin Christian, we equip students not only with an exceptional education, but also with the spiritual foundation they need to navigate today's world with confidence and faith. Our graduates are prepared for life, academically, personally, and spiritually. Discover what makes Central Wisconsin Christian different. Call us at 920-324-4233 or visit us online at wearecwc.org. Central Wisconsin Christian, preparing students for life and eternity.
King Manufacturing. Since 1926, we have been known for our first-class building and canopies. Steel King canopies are a well-known and respected product. We design, fabricate, and contract installation for C-stores, fleets, entryways, restaurants, and more. Steel canopies serve a variety of purposes, including advertising or signage, control access, sheltering an entrance or loading area, support of lighting systems, and weather protection for people, equipment, or outdoor storage. King Manufacturing. From design to completion.
Hello, this is Jeff Sauer with Jeff's Livestream. We hope you're enjoying our broadcast. Our purpose, first and foremost, is to bring glory to God. Second is to draw attention to the student athletes, promote the great things they and their schools are doing, and promote the businesses and the people running them within our communities. Our mission is to create memories for student athletes, families, teams, and communities, as well as allowing for viewers to see their athletes or teams perform regardless of where the viewer is located. If you'd like to join us as a sponsor to help us fulfill our purpose and mission, feel free to give me a call at 920-345-2066 or email me at livestreamjeff@gmail.com. I'd love to talk to you.
Born from a single retail project, WDS Construction has evolved into a nationwide general contractor and construction management company. But we're so much more than that. Retail is changing, and it's changing fast. No matter where you are, what you do, or how you sell products to your customers, we are with you every step of the way to lay the groundwork for whatever lies ahead, building trust through results, and our commitment to provide a customer-driven experience without question. With 4 generations at the foundation of WDS, we've built a reliable client base and a passionate team to bring big-time experience, commitment, and satisfaction to your next project. Because we are built to build better.
We are Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse, and we have been leading a greenhouse here in Fox Lake since 1981. Family owned and operated, we provide beautiful flower baskets and fruit and vegetables to residents of South Central Wisconsin. We know the importance of having a variety of flowers, fruits, and vegetables available to our customers throughout the year. Discover the finest selection of locally grown produce, including sweet corn, tomatoes, and cucumbers, along with a variety of fresh fruits. At Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse, we believe in providing our customers with the freshest and highest quality produce. Come visit us and taste the difference.
Back here at Smith Field on the campus of Marian University. You know, we're talking there during the break with our great videographers, camera people doing an excellent job. 75 degrees outside right now.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine that there's not a single mosquito in the sky. And this is summer, Jeff.
Yeah, this is
the only part of summer. We get like 3 weeks of this.
Right.
If that. We're probably gonna get some rain and heat, and then they're gonna be here. So I'm sure it's gorgeous out there. It's a beautiful night for soccer, certainly, and we have seen some good soccer so far. 1-1 on the scoreboard. As it would stand, Springs would finish with 18 points and CWC with 17 points. and they would finish runners-up in the Flyway Conference. WLA would finish in a solo third position in the Flyway if things stand, but there's 40 big minutes left to play here. Take you back if you're just joining us. First half statistics. I had Elena Schultz for 5 saves there. Now there's probably some other statisticians maybe would give her 6 or 7 there. I'm giving her 5. I'm a little bit of a tough critic. And 2 saves for Piper Signs. In the 24th minute, Izzy Will, the sophomore defender, came up after Alex Yankee got bundled over on the right side of the field, about 25 yards out. Izzy Will came up and hammered the free kick into the top left corner, a beautiful shot. And then just 7 minutes later, Addie Smits, the freshman forward winger for CWC, tied things up. It was their best player, Lauren Rice, cutting in on that left foot, driving it across, got tipped away by Elena Schultz and straight to the feet of Addie Smits, and a favorable bounce off of that post over there, and we are tied at 1 apiece. Coming up, we'll have the second half. Jeff will take a timeout here and see what these two teams have in store for the second frame of this one as CWC continues to chase a conference title. We're back after this on Jeff's
Angling-only guide service with Captain Jeremy Brenner.
Captain Jeremy Brenner here. We are the premier Lake Michigan salmon charter out of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Each trip is 6 hours and includes fish cleaning. The cost is $400 per trip Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and only $340 on weekdays for up to 6 people. I personally guarantee you will catch fish. The season runs June through Labor Day. Contact me at anglingonlyfishing@gmail.com to book today and check out my Facebook page, Captain Jeremy Brenner, Sheboygan Salmon.
The CWC Athletic Booster Club is proud to support this broadcast. The CWC Athletic Booster Club is a not-for-profit organization made up of CWC athlete family members and friends of the school. The club's goals are to support improvements of the CWC athletic facilities and programs, such as the recent investment into the school's new weight room, while also investing in the spiritual and physical growth of its athletes. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Booster Club or making a donation, email crusaderboosters@cwc.org. Good luck, Crusaders.
Katie's Log Cabin is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner, grab one of the daily specials, or check out the full menu. Katie's Log Cabin specials include Tuesday is pizza, Wednesday is wings, Thursday is a rotating special, Friday and Saturday is fish fry, Saturday is also prime rib, and Sunday is a broasted chicken dinner. Not in the mood for a special? Katie's has you covered with full menu options, appetizers, salads, wraps, pizzas, and sandwiches. Katie's Log Cabin Restaurant in Oakfield. Life is better at the cabin. Sam's Well Drilling is a family-owned business with over 75 years in the water well drilling industry. We can help you with all of your well drilling needs. Our crews are experienced at finding the proper location, setting up the rigs and equipment in all types of circumstances, and drilling to the appropriate depth so that you have fresh, clean water. Sam's also drills wells for commercial and municipal projects. No project is too large or small for Sam's Well Drilling. We at Sam's are thankful to be involved in supplying the well water needs of people all over Wisconsin. Sam's Well Drilling, well worth it.
King Manufacturing. Since 1926, we have been known for our first-class buildings and canopies. Did you know we do all kinds of metalwork? We offer a variety of decor available for purchase from other businesses. Designs range from holiday decor to sports to hobbies. Finished items can be wall hangings, outdoor garden decor, coffee tables, and so much more. If you're looking for address plaques, property signage, or awards plaques, King can make them. These are highly customized and durable products with your own street number, name, or event. A variety of fonts are available, and we can add our automotive-grade paint in a custom color, suitable for indoor or outdoor uses. Pricing varies. Call Joe Barnes at King Manufacturing. From design to completion.
Whether you enjoy the sunshine.
Back here at Smith Field on the campus of Marian University, and zoning in, yeah, there they are. That's the conference champion St. Mary's Springs Ledgers. That we know. Now, whether they'll be outright conference champs or they'll share it with Central Wisconsin Christian, we'll find out. Maybe if WLA wins this thing or draws, maybe they're going to run out onto the field and celebrate with the Vikings. I don't know. But St. Mary's Springs on the year, 13-5-1. They score nearly 5 goals a game, and that's led by Anna Willis. 44 goals this year. Emily Taylor has 14. Taylor has 19 assists. Willis has 16 assists. I don't get a vote, but I believe Anna Willis is the player of the year in the Flyway Conference, and I don't think it's particularly close.
Yeah, you had mentioned that before. So
she is a tremendous player for the Ledgers. And as I mentioned, they are certainly, weirdly, Winnebago Lutheran fans here coming up tonight. So, anyways, we're underway here in the second half. Jordan King with you, Jeff Sauer next to me. And I'm going to forget all the names of our camera people, so throughout the half, Jeff will give them
in there. Yeah,
give them shout-outs, because I got, 36 soccer names floating around my brain right now. So anyways, here you go. This is Rice, and an early chance for her. She is eased off the ball by Ava Belk, and a quick turnover back over to the Crusaders, and Butine will look out the far side. Pull my starting lineups back up here as Kairachi works against Tibby. Crusaders with a little possession here to start, and that one's deflected. Last touch by the Crusaders, I think it was off Perry last. And it goes back over to the Vikings, and a throw in from Miriam Borgwart. Turned back over. And this is kind of what I expected. The first 30 seconds, I guess 60 seconds of this half is kind of what I expected all match long. It's going to take a good touch and some skillful play to get through the midfield with both of these teams. And, both teams have done a fair bit of subbing, but look, they're going to rely on their best players. And the Alex Yankees and the Charlotte Butines and the Lauren Rices of the world just aren't going to get too many breaks. In fact, I don't believe Alex Yankee left the field for the Vikings in the first half. She's going to play all 80 coming up here tonight in a match that Pastor Haig, Coach Haig doesn't care if they're out of the running. They want to finish as high as they possibly can, and a win here tonight secures them a second-place finish. And also an opportunity for him to say, hey, seating.
Yeah, you're right.
We got seated 3 spots behind these Crusaders.
Right.
And, anyways, you can play that game till the cows come home, and you'll always be wrong. As the Ledgers probably don't think they deserve a 4 seat behind CWC with a better resume, but how do you put them behind them when they have the head-to-head?
Right, and that's always been the bugaboo I think about it when you have those seating meetings, and the first thing that they tell you, your first criteria is head-to-head.
At least they're still in-person seating meetings for
Right, it's
for
not
soccer,
the computer
not
spitting
the computer,
everything out, right?
Which they're still trying to zone in, we'll say, for football, basketball, and they're getting a little bit better every year. Depends who you ask.
Well, if you're asking me, Jordan, what I would like to see happen, though, is I'd like to start them to look at the regional settings that they have. You talked about it briefly, that softball and baseball are in play. The flyway in softball is beating each other up.
Cannibalize itself.
Right.
Yeah.
And any of those top 3 teams would probably be state qualifiers if they're in a different sectional.
I absolutely agree. There's one other sectional that's pretty challenging. But if you seeded the whole sectional as opposed to just regions.
Right.
And I think that would go a long way into helping some of the competitiveness that we see in sectional finals, or lack thereof, I should say.
Well, and the argument that they use that they want to travel, they want to keep everything tight, and they want to keep it close by in regional. They don't do that for the sectional. And you were just talking about Utzberg is going where for their sectional here?
I'm not sure where the sectional final is for this section, but
they're.
Yeah, you're going from Oostburg is one team, Wisconsin Heights Barneveld is another down by Madison. So, it's quite the span. Here's Alex Yankee. She's got Madeline Schwefel. We'll see if she recognizes that on the near side. Cuts it back, Kairachi, and the touch just let her down in the crucial moment. And a chance here for Madeline Schwefel, collects on the edge of the penalty area, and a nice tackle put in there by Liram, and she dispossesses Schwefel. And then there is no whistle, and I think that's a good no whistle. That was quite theatrical of a fall there from Liram. She was trying to help the official out by diving to the turf, and that was not a foul.
And you could see it well there. Nice job there by Isaac was down there. He got a good camera shot of it.
Excellent job by Isaac. That kind of stuff gives soccer players a bad name when you flop over and you're not actually fouled. So, goal kick, trying to get a substitution on, but referee didn't notice, so we'll play on. Here's Alex Yankee trying to get the ball outside to Kaya Rachi. Rachi's got it on the right wing. Cuts it in. Lola Rich, Rich back to Rachi, who pokes it away, and it deflects off of Keifenheim into the goal. And Keifenheim's got herself a go-ahead goal, and she said, "Look what I just found." And I just saw a bunch of applause from the St. Mary Springs Ledgers right below us. That's a big goal for the Vikings, and let's call a spade, a lucky goal for the Vikings.
Yeah, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. We talk about that a lot in all of the sports, right?
Well, you got to be in the right place at the right time, and if we're going to give credit to Addie Smits for the rebound goal that she had in the first half, you got to give it there to Lacey Keifenheim. In the right place at the right time, as you said, Jeff, and she unties this thing. 2-1. Lead now for the Vikings. In the 46th minute, a important inflection point perhaps in this flyweight conference race.
I'm going to be very interested to see how this young Crusaders team responds in this situation. Down and giving up a goal early.
They were losing 2-1 to Mayville earlier this year, and able to turn that around and win it 3-2. And they're in the same spot here, down 2-1. Now, in that Mayville match, they scored less than a minute later. It doesn't look like they're going to do that here against WLA. But you're right. We'll see what they can muster up. It's going to take some guts here in this last 35 minutes or so. Here's Lola Rich, the freshman for the Vikings. And a miscommunication there with Ava Belk is going to get the ball to Addie Smits out on that left side. And Smits is going to run not past Miriam Borgwart. Excellent play that time from the sophomore. And that is Winnebago Lutheran throw.
Good job there sticking right with Smits.
Yeah, and Smits, she is, it's easy to look at her with her height and her strength. She's fast as well, and Borgwart able to stay right with her and actually outrun her and get ahead of her there. Here's Westra. She is sitting on a yellow card. I don't think we'll have to worry about that, but worth noting in that first half, she got a yellow card right before the Izzy Will goal for the Vikings. Yankee looks to the middle. Here's Schwefel. Schwefel pokes it away. That time from Liram, and now Rich able to get the better of Liram for the time being. And she turns back, finds her midfield partner, Ava Belk. Belk back to Rich. Rich going to try to switch fields. This one just pops up into the air and over to Alex Yankee. Yankee heads it over to Rachi, and Rachi, the last to touch it. A nice play there by Tibby to earn a throw in, and Charlotte Butine back out onto the field. She replaces Kaylee Perry.
I haven't seen enough of Crusaders soccer to know, but that's interesting that Butine is coming in on the sub and not was out there as the starter.
Yeah, that's a good point. I missed that, Jeff. And we did see her hobble off late in that first half, so certainly hope everything's okay with her. And look, a conference championship would be nice, but if you're gonna make any type of run in the postseason, she's got to be healthy. And so, it's quite the predicament, right? Because everyone's goal is to win the conference championship.
That's usually the first one that's on the board.
And so here you have an opportunity to do that tonight, but you also got to keep in mind, there's playoffs that start up on Thursday. Now, you hope as a 3 seed playing a 14, maybe Butine will get some rest on Thursday. Won't have to play a full match on Thursday against a 14th seeded Columbus team. But you never know. Soccer is one of those games, and you know, you'd have to go back and do all the research and look at all the years and run the numbers, but I would venture to guess soccer is probably one of the sports that has the most upsets early on in the playoffs, with double-digit seeds advancing 1 or 2 rounds, just simply because if you got a good goalkeeper, got a good defense, you can stay in matches. This ball out on the near side. Here's Aaron Foose with a throw-in, one of the captains for the Vikings, and deflected straight back to the Crusaders, but Keifenheim able to cut out that pass from Vree, and WLA has it right back. As I say that, Perry cuts it out. Butine's got it, and a nice job there from Schwefel to pick the pocket of Butine, and here goes Alex Yankee once again. Yankee, and a nice job by Westra to usher that ball out of play.
They have her marked.
Sure do. It's been all game long. It's been Abby Tenaple, and she has done an excellent job on Alex Yankee. And Yankee, by the way, she's still had her fingerprints on this game everywhere. That first goal, she got Westra to foul her. Here is Schwefel again.
Signs didn't get a very good kick on that one.
No, that was, and she's been excellent with the goal kicks and the goalkeeper kicks today. That was kind of a collector's item there. Don't see that very often from her. Here's the throw from Lola Rich, deflected out from Tenaple, who once again was playing the role of Alex Yankee's shadow. Here's Keifenheim, ushered off it by Butine. Yankee gets it out to Rich. Rich into Belk. Ava Belk fires it up ahead to Keifenheim. Nice touch by Keifenheim. She finds Alex Yankee. Yankee's free in the box. She's tripped, and that's going to be a penalty kick for the Vikings. It was right on the edge of the box, and Yankee got tripped up that time. I think it was Liram who got her.
I believe so.
Number 5. And this should be Yankee's penalty kick to take to try to make it a 3-1 lead in the 51st minute.
See if Isaac has a good shot of this here.
Yankee will place it, and she is looking for goal number 17 of the season. She did miss a penalty kick against Eustisford Dodgeland earlier this season, and here she goes face-to-face with Piper Signs.
Great shot here by Cameron from the other end of the field.
Yankee to the right, and it's saved by Signs, and CWC stays in it.
Wow.
A diving stop, full extension for Signs.
Yeah, great job there by Piper.
And there you go in the 51st minute. Put an asterisk down there. Mark that position for the Vikings. A chance to go 3-1 up. And in the conference title race, now again, I keep mentioning that. That's number 1 on the docket tonight.
Right.
It's great for teams to.
Yeah, I know. It's a little blurry.
Great for teams to get wins. Yeah. Very nice dental shot there. Nice to get wins, but it's championship season right now. And if that goes in for the Vikings, CWC would have had to have scored 3 more goals. And Springs would have felt pretty good with only 28 minutes left on the clock, but nonetheless, it's still just a 1-goal lead for the Vikings. Here's Keifenheim looking outside to Rachi. Kaya Rachi and Tibby going shoulder to shoulder, and Tibby wins that battle, gets it up to Vree. Vree looks to the middle of the pitch, and it's cut out there by Ava Belk right before it got to Lauren Rice. Here's Tibby into the middle to Kaylee Perry. Kaylee Perry spins past a couple and gets it to Vree on that left side and taken away by Borgward. That back line for the Vikings has just been stingy, and that's a dirty one. That's a nasty one there from Tibby. 2 forearms to the back of Kaya Rachi, and that was a little frustration there from Tibby. And you mentioned it, Jeff, a young team.
Right.
We'll see how they respond to it, but that was not the appropriate response right there, as the Vikings will send one of their defenders, Aaron Foose, forward for this Izzy Will free kick. It bounces high, and a nice play there
By Piper Signs.
By Piper Signs. An excellent job to come out and collect.
And just a freshman.
Tell me if you've heard that one before.
I have, especially when you're talking about CWC.
6, 7, 8 times tonight.
Right.
There's a 50-50 ball, and it's won by Rice. Here goes Rice on the left side. This one is able to be cut out by Marian Borgwart, and it'll be Tibby with the throw-in, and we'll get a substitution here for the Crusaders. It's Smits back onto the field. 54th minute here, 2-1 between these two Flyway Conference teams. Vikings scored the opening goal. CWC responded in the first half, and WLA getting a fortunate bounce here in the second half. But we're in that part of the season where wins and losses sometimes come down to those bounces. Throw in here for the Vikings. Lola Rich trying to hit it over her head. And Rich battling there with Liram. And Rachi going to take this one away for the Vikings. Gets it up to Yankee, who looks back out to Kayarachi. Westra is just roaming over there, and she would have gotten there first had she needed to. She didn't. Went out of play. And once again, Marian Borgwart has been a force to be reckoned with over on that right side of the Vikings defense. And a nice job by Lang that time to cut out the throw-in towards Rice. Here is Rice. Middle of the field, trying to turn back and back out to the outside go the Crusaders. Here's Butine, middle of the park. All sorts of time for her to pick out a pass to Addie Smits. Smits' first touch a little loose, but she's able to get it under control. There's a foul by Aaron Foose. And it's going to be a free kick here for the Crusaders.
Just outside of the box.
Yeah, and this is danger territory here for Charlotte Butine, who I would imagine is going to be the one to take this free kick. And this can't be more than 22 yards away for the sophomore, and she's going to call for 10. Ask for 10 from the official. That's a great shot there.
The doctor down on the
leave it to him.
Pitch right by the goal.
Vikings were pretty close to 10 yards. They were at about 9 1/3, but they'll get that last couple of feet. Here's a good ball played in over the head of Schultz, tapped around and cleared away by the Vikings. Somehow WLA able to scoop that one away. And once again, a Crusader goes falling down on that far side and no whistle forthcoming. I think the referee thinks that, maybe there's not enough contact for some of these falls for CWC. Here's a race between Alex Yankee and shoulder to shoulder, and a nice play there by Ten Apel. And this one's, you can hear it down below with the fans. It's starting to get a little emotional down there, Jeff. Lots of screaming. Hey, she pushed me and I pushed. Well, you know what? It's soccer. Let the girls play. Here's
it
Aaron
is great,
Foose.
Though, to see the excitement of these two fan bases, right?
It's awesome. It's excellent. And I can promise you, just every now and again, looking down at the Ledgers girls soccer team here down front, they are living every play as well. There's applause. There's fist pumps down there when WLA makes a good play. Don't think that they don't know what's on the line here tonight.
Right, absolutely. We've got a good shot of them right there in this throw-in with the doctor in the corner.
And Keifenheim able to clear it out.
Nice shot there by Isaac as well. And, of course, Reagan, running our main, is doing a great job of following the action.
Here goes Alex Yankee, and Yankee's through on goal. Can Ten Apel catch her? She will. So here's Yankee, cuts it back inside. She's got Keifenheim up with her. Check that. That's Rich. Rich tries a chip and signs. Safe hands back there and collects for the Crusaders.
I thought Yankee had a great breakaway there. I'm not sure how they caught her, if she tried to change directions.
Yeah, just one bad touch is all it takes sometimes. And She had one that just kind of bobbled on her, and that allowed Tenable to catch up. Nice play here from Borgwart once again. We've said her name a ton here tonight. Keifenheim is onside. Keifenheim with a chance. Off the post and out for Lacey Keifenheim.
She drilled that ball.
She did hit it with some ferociousness there. I'll tell you what, that was tight on the far side. It could have been offsides, but Keifenheim did a nice job to stay on, and I'll tell you what, she was inches away from firing WLA into a 2-goal lead. So Marissa Toll out onto the field for the Vikings. She replaces Lola Rich. I don't imagine Rich will be off the field for very long. An instrumental piece for this Vikings team. Once again, Borgwart with another interception. She has been tremendous today for WLA. Just a sophomore. WLA's got some young talent as well, by the way.
Right, absolutely. It's good for the soccer for flyweight.
No doubt. I think this conference has always been pretty strong in soccer, and I think it's going to continue. Butine goes down there on the far side after a tackle with Lacey Keifenheim. It's going to be a WLA throw, but they're going to pause the clock here for Butine, and let's step away here.
We can step aside
Jeff,
since we have a chance, and we'll be back.
We'll come back after this.
With boating, jet skiing, UTV riding, mowing lawn, gardening, or camping, enjoy the leaves falling in autumn, getting to that perfect nature walk or hunting, or enjoying the Wisconsin snowfall hiking, four-wheeling, snowmobiling, traveling across the state, or just driving up and down your driveway. Call PT Tire and Service for all your automotive and recreational needs. Call 920-346-TIRE.
Terry Holes and Ada Shun-Jones Realty is a proud sponsor of high school athletics. With over 20 years of full-time experience in the real estate industry, Terry has had the privilege of helping clients buy and sell homes and properties totaling hundreds of millions of dollars. His deep knowledge of the market, attention to detail.
Welcome back here. I'm just giving a quick update here, Jordan. You're good here. I just wanted to let everybody know what's happening here. Thanks to the 39 viewers who are joining us here right now. Charlotte Butine is on the pitch right now, and it looks like she may have simultaneous kicking at the same time, may have caught a cleat to the shin or to the calf, or that's kind of what it looks like that they're working on. And I got a shot there from the doctor, Cameron Hatcher, as the athletic trainer is out there taking a look at the knee area and the shin area. And obviously that's where you can also get these groin injuries pretty easy. Any types of muscle engagement injuries are possible right there. Is kind of checking the knee, and I don't like to see the tests that he's doing with the checking of that knee, because I've seen that done to myself, so I know what he's looking for. And Charlotte's not moving much. But anyways, I just wanted to give that update of why we were in a commercial. Actually, it's good to see she's sitting up, so he's done with doing some of those tests on those knee ligaments. I also want to let you know, and you see the message that's posted there. If you're looking in the YouTube chat, you need to be putting in there and letting us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, who's your favorite players. Charlotte is being helped off of the trainer off of the pitch here. And while that's happening, just let us know who you're cheering for. We'd love to have this stuff. The girls are going to go back and watch this. It's not very often that we at Jeff's live stream go back and we do the broadcast, because I'm not a soccer aficionado and Jordan's super busy. But as he talked about before, this is the only thing going on that is regular season. And it's great to see that this is happening here. So let the girls know that you're out there cheering for them.
Absolutely, and it's been a good one today. And now you've piqued my interest. There are 3 soccer games going on today.
Wow.
Across the entire state. Brookfield Academy, Living Word Lutheran, Racine Lutheran, Pius Catholic. Yeah, it's that just tells you, if you aren't here, what are you doing?
Right.
Springs is here. Come on. They didn't even give them a night off of practice. They had to come here after practice. At least that's what it looks like. Looks like they got their training shorts on. That's what training kits, as they call them. And another interception, once again, from Marian Borgwart. So here's Rice, and I'll tell you what, this is a testament to WLA on that far side. This is Scouten. We'll get back to I was going to make a point there, but here is Rice. Rice cutting in on the right foot. Far post shot, and it goes just wide.
Wow.
An excellent shot that time from Rice. I was just going to say, we have not said Rice's name a whole heck of a lot here in the first 20 minutes of this second half. And that's a testament to what WLA has been able to do, particularly in the midfield, and then their outside backs, Aaron Foose and Marian Borgward, have both been excellent here tonight. On the far side, this is Vree. Vree looks to the middle. She had a player there, but goes to Rice instead. This is Perry, Kaylee Perry, to Smits. Back here to Liram, and Smits has it once again. Liram inside the box to Reese, Rice. I got to get that out of my head. I've been saying Ruiz all year long, and now I feel bad because I didn't get a pronunciation.
Sure.
All year long, if you've been, I'm assuming not a ton of CWC folks subscribe to the Flyway Focus Sports Report every morning, but I've been saying Ruiz all year long, and I got to apologize for that because, that's bad. We don't like that.
It happens.
We get it right. We
so
try
many
to get
names
it right.
you see, right?
Ruis, Rice, just how you drew it up.
Right.
So it's going to be, with Butine off the pitch for the time being, it's going to be Liram who's going to drive this corner kick in. And they've been dangerous on corners all year long. This one's cut out by Lacey Keifenheim. And Keifenheim has Winnebago Lutheran out of its defensive shape here for right now, and they'll be able to move their line back up. Liram tosses it into Ellie Perry. Perry dispossessed, and nice job there by Liram to quickly regain possession for the Crusaders. And now she's got her pocket picked from Alex Yankee. Yankee, trying to go with a little outside of the boot nutmeg there. It didn't work. And WLA, here you go, Lola Rich returning. I'll tell you what, Pastor David Haig, the coach for the Vikings, you never wish injury on anyone, including your opponent. But that injury stoppage got an extra couple of minutes there on the bench for Lola Rich that she otherwise would not have gotten. That goes over Westra's head, and here comes Alex Yankee. There's a collision on the far side. That's a foul on Yankee. There's no whistle, and I think that's
at least Tibby, it looks like.
Tibby's staying down on that far side. That one, the one between Butine, that was just a freak accident. This one probably should have been a foul. And once again, we have the trainer trying out there. You want to step aside here, Jeff?
Yep, we can do so.
We'll come back after this on Jeff's live streams.
To clients has driven his success and made each transaction a positive experience. Terry was born and raised in Oakfield. He and his family have deep ties to the community. Terry knows this area when it comes to real estate. Contact Terry at 920-238-5558 for all your realty needs in the greater Oakfield area. Or check him out on Facebook at Terry Holz Realtor.
Born from a single retail project, WDS Construction has evolved into a nationwide general contractor and construction management company. But we're so much more than that. Retail is changing, and it's changing fast. No matter where you are, what you do, or how you sell products to your customers, we're with you every step of the way to lay the groundwork for whatever lies ahead. Building trust through results, and our commitment to provide a customer-driven experience without question. With 4 generations at the foundation of WDS, we've built a reliable client base and a passionate team to bring big-time experience, commitment, and satisfaction to your next project. Because we are built to build better.
Generations Lanes of El Dorado. Join one of our adult or kids leagues or bowl in our monthly Friday night tournament. Or get a group together for a family or corporate bowling function. We are more than just bowling. A great spot to bring your family for a meal. Awesome homemade pizzas and soups, as well as appetizers, wraps, and sandwiches. Daily food specials. Fish Fry Friday. Open daily at 11 with the kitchen open late. Ask about us catering your next function. We are home to Laconia Bowling and proud supporter of the Laconia Spartans and all student athletes.
Back here at Smith Field, and certainly hope that Elise Tibby is okay. That was a hard fall and a tough collision there between two girls going at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Still on the bench, and they're taking a look. Good shot there by Cameron.
Little conversation out there with Coach Paul Steeves and the official as well. I'm sure he was voicing some frustration. There was no whistle on that. That coming together. 63rd minute, not a ton of time left, 17 or so on the clock. Play 80 in high school soccer. And Marissa Toll is going to pick out that pass that was a little off the way from Ellie Perry, and then I think there was a lacrosse line that got her that time.
Yeah.
Just the turf monster, as they say. This throw looking for, nice job, Kaylee Perry getting in there and cutting that one out. And here's Rice with an opportunity. And Rice with a fortunate deflection of her own. She's got Smits on the near side, and she tried to go herself. She's going to cut it back, and there is Lola Rich putting in a tackle. Still a shot, and it's straight at Elena Schultz. I'll tell you what, Smits was wide open on the near side. Easier to see for us up here than for Rice, who's going 1,000,000 miles an hour and feels like she's going to get a shot off there. But, man, Smits would have had a tap in if Rice could have delivered a quality ball across the face of the goal. And the Vikings survive once again. I'll tell you what, the second half, they've had a couple of opportunities. Have the Crusaders, and the Vikings have done just enough to keep the ball out of the net down on that side of the field. This is cleared out, but only as far as Marissa Toll. Keifenheim now has it. Over on the right side, Keifenheim. Oh, and that's a favorable deflection, and WLA is going to get a corner. A shot there from Lacey Keifenheim. That would have been pretty benign, I think, and it deflected off of Westra and out across the end line. And it's going to give Lola Rich an opportunity for the Vikings as we tick down towards 15 minutes to play here between these two. As it stands, they will finish tied for second in the Flyweight Conference. This is swung in by Rich, and an excellent job to sky high for it from Signs.
Wow, good shot there by Isaac to get that for us.
Piper, Signs, and I'll tell you what, that's how you got to do it as a goalkeeper. There's going to be people that hit you in the ribs when you go up for those, and you gotta be secure and you gotta be strong, and that's what she was. Nice job by Borgwart to not allow that to get to Rice. Tell you what, the Vikings have, Borgwart hasn't been anywhere near the goal. She didn't score either goal. She didn't assist either goal. She really didn't contribute in either goal. But I would be tempted to give Marian Borgwart the player of the match if WLA wins this thing with how well she's defended Rice and company on that right side of the Vikings defense. She has been excellent.
Same thing with Abby Tenaple, though, coming back the other direction, right?
Agreed.
It has been one of those types of contests, and the score reflects it, right? It's just been good soccer.
There's Tenaple once again not allowing Yankee to get the ball. And I think Alex Yankee is, as a forward, you're just waiting for your team. You're telling your team, just give me the ball. Just give me service. And when you got quality balls being played to you, and Tenaple is just in your back pocket, and you got to fight through that. And as you mentioned, Jeff, she's done an excellent job. Another throw-in that goes through the end line for a WLA goal kick, and it'll be the goal scorer, Izzy Will. She got things going in the 24th minute with a free kick goal. CWC equalized in the 31st minute, and then WLA on a wicked deflection. Lacey Keifenheim untied it in the 46th minute with that deflection goal. But then CWC really would have felt like they were out of it in the 51st minute when there was a penalty kick awarded. And how about the night for Piper Signs? And what a season she's had as well as a freshman. But she was up to the task, and a sprawling save on that penalty kick. She made 12 yards look easy.
Yeah, and
it's only a 12. It's only a 12-yard shot.
Only.
It's right. It's just everything about that says it should favor the attacker, and yet Signs did her job in the goal. Here's Westra in her own defensive third with a little back heel flick that goes out of bounds, and WLA will have a throw in with Miriam Borgward, as we have now ticked under 13 minutes to play in this one. And this throw in is to nobody.
To Isaac.
Miscommunicate. Yeah, I guess so. Does he have a blue jersey underneath there?
Yeah, maybe.
Good shot there from the what do you call him? The Prez?
The doctor.
Oh, I thought it was the president.
Yeah, well, he could be the president now.
Yeah, a great shot there of Charlotte Butine warming up, and hopefully she comes back out. She could impact this in a big way for the Crusaders. Here's Lacey Keifenheim. Keifenheim, a good deflection to her. She pokes it through, and another excellent save. Piper Signs is doing everything she can to keep the Crusaders in the match. My goodness.
She wants that conference title as well and is battling in there hard.
Goodness me, what a save. Rich will have the corner kick on the far side of the field. Swings it in. It's another good one and another good save. Well, not a save. Piper Signs. See, now there are statisticians that'll write down save for that. That is not a save, ladies and gentlemen.
Not at all. There was no way that's going in the net.
So Signs trying to get something going here for CWC. It's been a tough half, and the Crusaders have had chances, but it has been certainly a tougher half for them to get anything going moving forward. Here's Rich with a little nutmeg flick through the legs of the opponent, and Aaron Foose. That's WLA ball as it tips off of Smith's last. Yeah, that's a good call from the referee there. I always love how the players on the other side of the field say, what kind of call was that? When they can't, they're in no way. Right. Well, that's kind of like me, That's when I say that too, when it's on the other side of the field and I say, man, that was a terrible call. I've never said that, though. Never said that. Into the 70th minute here between these two. It's been an awesome game here tonight, and right now it looks like a Vikings win if it ended right now, but there is still plenty of time to play, as the Crusaders showed against Mayville earlier this year. Here is Smits. Smits not able to control, and it'll be a throw for the Vikings. And their captain, Aaron Foose. Foose lobs one down the line, and Rich battles with Perry there on the touchline. Kaylee Perry's got it right now, and Perry picks her head up, able to find Rice.
Nice pass.
And Rice can't let her get open. Kicks it back to Butine, who's back out onto the field. And Keifenheim's got it for the Vikings. The Vikings defense has really settled in here today. They had a couple of missed kicks and mishaps in the first couple of minutes. Here goes Alex Yankee again. But the Vikings defense has really done a nice job. That's a nice chipped effort there from Alex Yankee. And the ever sure-handed Piper Signs able to reach up and collect for another save for her. That was a save.
Yep.
Good-looking shot from Yankee. This one bounces to the far side to Scouten. Scouten keeps it in, deflected, and stays with the Crusaders. Ava Belk's going to return for the Vikings. So WLA back with their starters out on the pitch. And save for some injuries, we got about the same thing on the CWC side of things as well. And I think that throw was just taken a little too quickly for the referee's liking. Didn't quite have, I think they were trying to get Kaylee Perry off the pitch perhaps. And she wasn't quite off before they threw that ball, and it goes out of play for the Crusaders. WLA throw. Here's a long throw. Keifenheim can't control. Over to the Crusaders. Butine looks up, trying to deliver a ball to Rice. Rice gives chase, closing in on Carly Lang. Lang, safety first from her. She just gives away a throw. Closing down on 8 minutes left in this one between the 8-1 Crusaders and the 7-2 Vikings. CWC needs 2 goals in the final 8 minutes to share the conference championship with St. Mary's Springs. This is a clearance from Lola Rich, straight up into the air. Won by the Crusaders, and this is going to go out for a goal kick.
So if it's tied at regulation, they each get 1 point? Is that what you're saying?
Correct, yep. So it'll end, if they tie after 80, you get 2 conference or 1 conference point. If you get a win, you get 2 conference points. So a draw would leave CWC 1 point short. Agonizingly. But even that, they need a goal for, and WLA looks pretty secure back at the defensive end of the field as of right now. Alex Yankee versus a couple of different Crusaders. Excellent first touch from Alex Yankee. Yankee going to cut back here, cut back again. Great moves, near post shot, off the post, and it won't go for Alex Yankee. Jarabic on the far side, kicks it into, that's Kaya Rachi there, and Jarabic this time straight to Signs. And Alex Yankee throws her head back. She cannot believe it hit the post and it stayed out.
It was such a wide open shot, too.
She's telling herself in the first half, Smits from CWC hit that same post and it went in. What's going on here?
Here is just a little bit smaller on this end.
I guess so. Here's Lola Rich. Rich gets it to Belk. Belk looks back to Lola Rich, can't deliver it, and it goes back to Kaylee Perry. Perry looking up ahead to Rice. Rice has it in the midfield. She's going to be able to turn and run. Belk's trying to chase her down. Once again, Marian Borgwart gets the vital touch for the Vikings as Scouten was ever so close to chasing that one down for the Crusaders. Battle here for Yankee. It's won by Perry. Here is Perry. And a couple of Vikings shouting for a handball. Play on, says the referee. And that one kind of screws out of play for a throw-in. So in the final 5 minutes, now we're still outside of that. In the final 5 minutes, if only the leading team subs, they have to stop the clock. And that's a time-wasting technique, Jeff, that was time-wasting rule that was added a few years ago. That one goes out, last touch by Liram. Now, a lot of coaches will sub right up. They'll sub every opportunity up until that 5 minutes, and then they'll stop.
Okay.
Because then when the clock stops, the jig's up, right?
Right.
Yep. So here is not going to get there. Just going to say that's Madeline Schwefel chasing it down, but not able to do so. And there is 5 minutes left. I look across there, I see Coach David Haig from the Vikings, both hands on his head. He's probably tearing some gray hairs out of there in these final 5 minutes. That's how you get those gray hairs.
Right, it is.
Games like this.
Exactly.
That's for sure. Here's Butine looking up ahead to Rice. Rice eased off of it by Lang. Now Rice has it. And once again, Carly Lang able to pick the pocket of Rice. And the Viking fans love that. You know, they're cheering every clearance like it was a goal because they can smell it under 5 minutes to play. That never went in. So it should be a Viking throw from all the way up. We'll see if the refs ruled that did go in play. I don't think it did. So it should be all the way up where Liram took that throw. Long throw from Aaron Foose, and that's going to go out of play. But I'll tell you what, it's doing a job for the Vikings right now because that's going to take another 15 seconds off the clock to go collect that ball and then take the free kick. Here comes the goal kick. 4 minutes left in this one, 2-1. WLA goals from Izzy Will and Lacey Keifenheim, and Addie Smits has the one tally for CWC. Here is Lola Rich. Rich, the freshman. Nice move. Looks to the far side. That's Lacey Keifenheim. It gets through her. Can Kaya Rachi chase it down for the Vikings? She can. Cuts it back looking for Keifenheim. And a nice job by the Crusaders to clear that one away to the waiting Marian Borgwart. Another clearance. Scouten trying to find Rice. Here's a long ball looking for Smits. There's Smits' speed. You can see it there.
Wow.
Chasing down Aaron Foose. Yeah, we said it earlier, Jeff. She's got wheels, and Aaron Foose just found that out in a big way.
That was absolutely fun to watch.
She was 10 yards behind Aaron Foose, and by the time she got to the ball, she was there first. Incredible. Lola Rich looking for Alex Yankee. That one put out by Tenaple, and I think the Vikings are going to take their time here if they were smart. Don't take the – oh, Lola Rich is going to fire it away right away. She saw Alex Yankee. Yankee outruns Tenaple and got tripped. And Alex Yankee, and this one's going to take up some time as well.
Boy, that almost looked like incidental contact to me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff. When a player has beaten you, I don't care if it's incidental or not. It counts. It's got to go. Unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like when you're running down the basketball court on a fast break. You know, if the referee, he's got no choice.
Right.
If the player hits the deck and you lose a goal-scoring opportunity. So here's Lola Rich. And this is going to tick under 2 minutes while Rich takes his free kick. It's on target. No, a little bit over the top. She was trying to shoot that one.
Isaac had the good shot right there for us.
So a goal kick here coming for CWC. They got to do something improbable here. They got to score twice in the final 2 minutes to deny St. Mary's Springs a solo conference championship. That one's deflected out of bounds. But once again, the Vikings are content to just keep blasting the ball out of bounds, make them take goal kicks, and the Vikings are continuing to win this midfield ball. Here's Keifenheim. She plays it backwards. I'm not sure that's the way the Vikings want to go at this point. Backwards passes aren't always bad, but inside of the final minute and a half, they're usually always bad. Minute 15 left in this one, and the Vikings, once again, this time it's Borgwart. I say this time, about every time.
Right.
It's been Marian Borgwart for the Vikings.
She has played very well today for the Vikings on the defensive side.
And she's there to win the header. And we're under a minute left in this one. Here is Butine, middle of the park, looking to the near side with Smits. Who's going to get there first? It's Addie Smits. Smits faces up against Aaron Foose, and Smits loses out to Madeline Schwefel. Here is Perry. Gets it out here to Liram. Liram drives it in, and Rice can't take care of it there. And the Vikings can't clear the ball. There it is. They clear it out past the midfield stripe. If Alex Yankee can keep it in, she'll have all day to run, but she cannot. And somewhat of a throwaway there from Alex Yankee, but they got the ball kids, so that doesn't matter. Kaylee Perry has that one tipped away. Here's the throw-in. 10 seconds left. The Vikings just have to belt it forward, and St. Mary's Springs below us is getting ready to shout because they have won a Flyway Conference championship outright. And the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings knock off CWC 2-1 the final. An excellent match here tonight, and you got to give credit to the Vikings for their second half especially. They took control there in the second half and played extremely well. So the final rankings in the Flyway Conference will look like this. Want to pull them up so I don't get them wrong.
Yep.
St. Mary Springs 9-1 with 18 points. Central Wisconsin Christian 8-2 with 16 points. Winnebago Lutheran 8-2 with 16 points. North Fonda United 14 points at 7-3. Mayville 6-4 with 12 points. Amro 5-5, along with Eustisford Dodgeland also 5-5. They each had 10 points. Lourdes Academy Valley Christian had 8 points, going 4-6. Lamira had a point, as did Wayland Academy. Both went 0-8-1, and Campbell Sport went 0-8 and had 0 points on the year. So those are the final standings of the 11-team Flyway Conference. And Winnebago Lutheran did a job here for themselves tonight, but also did a job for the Ledgers, who are outright conference champs. Great game tonight, Jeff.
Oh, it was a fantastic game. Back and forth. Both teams battled hard. And, you had to have a winner, right?
Yeah, one of those games where you feel bad sending a tie maybe feels right? Where you feel bad sending someone home as quote unquote a loser, right? But an excellent match here tonight.
We talked about that. These are very young teams.
Yep.
They just have set the tone for a couple of years of rivalry moving forward.
And you just that maybe that extra few seniors that WLA had, you just wonder if that made the difference there down the stretch. Everything got going in the 24th minute with an Isabel Will goal. Izzy put one into the top left corner on a free kick. That was won by Alex Yankee. Then 7 minutes later in the 31st minute, Addie Smits with an excellent putback goal. She saw Lauren Rice come in from that right side, fire one in, tipped away by the WLA goalkeeper, and then Addie Smits was able to slam it home for the equalizer. And everything changed in the 46th minute. That's when the ball deflected just awfully for the Crusaders off of the boot of Lacey Keifenheim, and she'll get the game-winning goal here tonight for the Vikings. That was in the 46th minute. Got to tip our cap here to Piper Signs, the freshman goalkeeper for Central Wisconsin Christian, because without her, Jeff, I don't know what the final ends up, but it's not 2-1.
No, she was on fire today.
Excellent tonight, saved a penalty kick, was excellent on corner kicks, and kept CWC right in this thing to the very end. And so cannot end tonight's broadcast without saying something positive about her performance. Certainly the player of the day for CWC. And again, I'm going to say it. She didn't score a goal. She didn't have any assists. But I'll tell you what, Marian Borgwart on that right-handed defensive side for the Vikings was stellar tonight, having to deal with the likes of Jenna Scouten and, even at sometimes Lauren Rice found herself over there, and no one was able to get past Marian Borgwart. She had a terrific evening over there on the right. So there you go.
Why don't we step aside for just a minute, and we'll come back, and then you can tell us what's going on for their seeding as it moves forward here for the WIAA regionals. Good job here by Jordan King calling this game, and we'll step aside and we'll be back. You're listening to Jeff Sauer along with Isaac and the doctor, Cameron Hatcher, and Reagan on cameras. We'll be back.
Looking for something special in your child's education? The choices you make for your child today will impact their future forever. At CWC, we provide a Christ-centered education that shapes students academically, spiritually, and personally. From our exceptional elementary and middle schools to the academic rigor of life-enriching programs of our high school, CWC offers a place for students to grow and thrive. Our approach integrates faith into every subject, helping your child see the world through God's eyes. To learn more or schedule a visit, go to wearecwc.org.
Welcome to Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse. Here at Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse, we are proud to provide South Central Wisconsin with the most beautiful flowers and freshest fruits and vegetables. In the fall, we have many varieties of squash and pumpkins, to just name a few. We are also proud to offer one-of-a-kind gifts like hanging baskets, iron hangers, decorative planters, and concrete statuary. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for more info and pictures. So come on out to Hooksha's Marketing Greenhouse, located on Highway A between Fox Lake and Randolph, and you'll be glad you did.
Andy Kolker at My Property Shop is ready to assist you with your real estate needs. She prides herself on quick and smooth transactions with excellent negotiation skills. She is the local agent who puts your needs ahead of her own. Andy has already sold over $1 million in property in the first quarter of 2025. Do you want quality, detailed, accurate information in the real estate market? If so, contact Andy today. My Property Shop, located at 6 East Franklin Street, Waupun, or call or text 920-296-8738.
2-1 the final. Here tonight between the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings and the Central Wisconsin Christian Crusaders. I tell you what, that one brings back a lot of memories for any of us that were part of that rivalry in the past. And I was part of that rivalry quite a bit over the years, and they always looked like that. Lots of screaming, lots of shouting, and it usually ended up being a one goal match. That's kind of how it feels like it should go between these two schools.
It always feels good though to come back and have those types of memories come back, doesn't it, Jordan?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I always said, we beat them. We beat CWC on the road my senior year, and then we were walking off the field, and we said, oh, man, thankfully we don't have to play them ever again. They weren't in our sectional. Well, we met them in the state semifinal, so there you go.
Yeah, right.
We beat them. Sorry, CWC fan. I had to. All right. Central Wisconsin Christian, no, they have nothing to be ashamed of. Second place finish in the Flyweight Conference and earn themselves a number 3 seed in the Kohler Regional. Sectional final will be played at Kohler. This is Sectional 3 in Division 4, by the way. And CWC will host Columbus, the 14 seed, coming up on Thursday. That's a 6 p.m. match. And, Jeff, this is almost ridiculous, but next Saturday, we could see this same matchup once again.
Right.
Played on the Mulder Field grass, and we'll see if it makes an impact there. Winnebago Lutheran plays 11 seed Wisconsin Heights Barneveld on Thursday as well. So coming up on Saturday, just a few days from now, these two teams could square off again for a regional final, a regional championship. That would be certainly interesting.
Looking at the pairings, do you see that as that a projection that you would put forward?
Yeah, I think both of these teams are stronger than their seeds. Well, CWC, I shouldn't say that. CWC, I believe, should have gotten the 4 seed, and Springs should have gotten this 3 seed. But again, head-to-head, totally understand that. But I think CWC will take care of Columbus. I project Winnebago Lutheran to beat Wisconsin Heights Barneveld. I think these two are going to match up coming up on Saturday, and that'll be another one where you better have the trainer on standby because it's going to be a dogfight from beginning to the end. Just for any Flyway fans out there, Springs is the 4 seed, Mayville the 13 seed, Hughesford Dodgeland is a 12. So, anyways, top seed in this sectional is Oostburg. The 2nd seed is Ozaki Random Lake. Both of those teams are ranked inside the top 6 last time I checked in the Flyway conference or in the state rankings. And CWC, the 3 seed, they would obviously see Ozaki Random Lake in the second round, or the sectional semifinal round of that. So there you go. Once again, we'll wrap things up here from Smith Field at Marian University. Want to thank them. Excellent facilities here. It's a true pleasure to call a game from here. It gets a little sticky up in the booth, but that's not their fault. That's the beautiful 75-degree weather going on outside. So there you go. 24th minute, Izzy Will got our scoring going. In the 31st, Addie Smits from CWC turned it around. And then in the 46th minute, Lacey Keifenheim got the match-winning goal on a deflection. And Winnebago Lutheran gets a win, 2-1, and they tie for second in the Flyway Conference.
What a fantastic contest today, Jordan. I want to thank you for joining me here.
Absolutely.
On Jeff's live stream. Again, here's what we've got going on tomorrow. We've got 2 live streams that we're going to take. We're going to be over at Lemira. Time has changed. It's been moved up an hour, so we'll be on air at 3:30. And then Mayville baseball will be there as well, and that'll be on air starting pregame at 4:30. And we're expecting to be broadcasting on Wednesday and Thursday as well, and possibly next Tuesday. One of the things we do here at Jeff's live stream is we always try and we will end here in a prayer. So I ask if you'd like to join me here in the prayer. We'd love to have you. Heavenly Father, we want to give thanks for this opportunity that you have for us to be able to bring this service to you, where we get the chance to showcase some of the skills and abilities of the young people that you have created and have put forward towards the opportunities to represent their communities and their schools. Heavenly Father, we give you praise and thanks and hope that all of the injuries that may have taken place today will be minor and that all of these athletes will be able to recover from them. We also ask, Heavenly Father, that you be with these athletes and the players and everybody who was here today as they travel home. May they be safe and under your guiding hand. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Thanks again, Jordan. Appreciate the broadcast.
Always,
fantastic job here from the Flyway Focus. If you need anything Flyway, you got to be with this young man's website and following along with what he's got going on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram. He's got it all covered. Thanks again. Take care. God bless. And we can't wait to see you at a field near us. Jeff Sauer signing off. Thank you for watching our broadcast. A shout out to our sponsors.
This is Jeff Sauer. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Until next time, may God bless you today and every day.